Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Jules. As always, all of you are my treasures when you join us here. Today, I am joined by Avita, uh, and we're just going to have an interview session here. Um, and we are going to start off by basically asking Avita to tell us her story of her transition.
Hey, Jules, thank you for having
Go
me
ahead.
on. My name is Avita Beckling. I'm a 47-year-old woman at this point. Going back in time, I lived the life of a man for 42 years, then the life of a non-passing transgender woman in transition for 5 years. And as of the last 6 months, just as a woman, I finally finished my transition this year. So a lot of milestones: gender reassignment surgery, face feminization surgery. And I've completed my journey. I've suffered from gender dysphoria, which was called gender identity disorder before, I think, the year 2000. It was classified as that, and they changed the name around the year 2000. I was abducted or molested as a kid. I was like 6 or 7 years old. One of my parents' male roommates was molesting me for a time. I just blocked that out. I've had therapy sessions to try to get through that, but I just block it out. That seems to be the best way for me. Try to come out as transgender at age 11 in 1988 to my dad. I had zero support. He said, "You are not doing this," and he basically shot it down. He beat the hell out of me too, and he said, "This is what you're going to do." And he gave me an ultimatum: "This is what you're going to do. You're going to graduate high school, start working, get married, and have kids." And that was my mission. That's what I was supposed to do. So that's what I did. I have grown daughters in their 20s now. I was married for like 18 or 19 years. Been divorced many years. So I'm a little bit older. So, but 36 years of suffering from gender dysphoria. I tried to take my life twice by overdosing on pills, 2 different occasions. And in 2019, when I came out and went full time, I was going to take my life at that point, but I decided it was, either come out or check out, and I went full time as Avita, and my whole world flipped upside down because getting a job was so hard as a non-passing trans woman. It's just because people don't take you seriously. It's very difficult, and I lost the superpower called male privilege that most men are oblivious that they have in the workplace, getting jobs, getting promotions, and things like that. So, but I've been trucking along. I started doing the surgical route in 2023. I started hormone therapy. Then I had the biological orchectomy in July, and then in 2024 GRS in July, and face surgery this last October. And I'm done with my transition at this point. So that's pretty much a recap on my history and going through gender dysphoria and stuff. And I'm very confident and sure that I was ready. So at this point, it wasn't like I'm not making a mistake. This is not a mistake. So I changed my legal name and gender markers as well in 2023. So now I'm just stealth. So
Very, interesting story. Uh, Tell us there. So let's see. I'm trying to see if my computer is going crazy here.
oh,
Get back to my screen. May have to go back on. I mean, we're still up, but I did, I did see a couple of my subs there. At least one of them. Her name's Ryuki. She's out in Jacksonville, Florida. She did say hi. Um, okay, here we go. I'm getting back in there. I have a couple other people jumping on here too. I see this live. So you said at 11 you realized you were trans?
I realized it at 7 or 8, but there was no. I didn't have the
7 or 8?
vocabulary. I didn't know what was happening at that point. I was too young, and at
Yeah.
11, that's where I mentioned the transgender tapestry magazine. I got a subscription to that 'cause I saw that because I used to be able to dial up to bulletin board and go out to web crawler to get to the internet in the early days. I found that
Hmm.
magazine and I'm like, there's people like me out there. So I got a subscription to it. And I was keeping it from my dad because he would always rip them up when he found them. So he's like, he was saying, you were getting ideas from these magazines. I'm like, no, I found my calling, other people that are like me. Because there was the trans community back in the 80s was, it just wasn't there. It was a very, like, I guess, niche environment. There was hardly any like trans people that were out, like under 18 years old. There was no trans people. I never knew anybody, so that was my way to connect with other people that were like me.
Okay. Yeah, with me, it was like a very early age. I think after I potty trained, I felt that once I knew how to sit to go, that's all I wanted to do, and then into my teen years, I felt myself, I started going to my mom's bathroom, trying on the makeup, trying on, clothing. Uh, it's a lot of,
Yep,
but I still didn't have that feeling because, like you said, it wasn't, you know, really recognized back then. And, not many people had come out. And so I would just kind of do it on my own when I was at home alone. And I think I didn't discover this warrior till, like I said, when I was in early 50s, you know, and it's, later in life, but it, it's still, it's something you have within you and people don't recognize that, you know?
yep. It's
Uh,
never too late. It's never too late. You can always
right.
get the last half of your life to enjoy being yourself. So
Everyone, feel free to jump into the stream. You can ask any questions. Please be respectful in the conversation. I do ask that. You know, nothing that could be, you know, triggering to anybody or insulting or disrespectful, I would say. Yes, I have Ryuki in here. I have someone that I think they must be writing from Europe. I don't even understand what they're saying. And then I have Top Wizard that did say hello to both of us. Uh, so currently you are in Nevada, huh? Not too far from me.
yeah, I'm in
I'm
the
down here in Albuquerque.
Reno Sparks area. I only came out here because
Yeah.
my mom retired out here. My sister's kind of nearby. That's why she came out here. So, but my mom hardly really sees my sister, maybe twice a year. So I may relocate to Huntsville, Alabama, because that's where the work is. So, but I'm
Right.
keeping that as an option. And the housing market is much better in Huntsville, Alabama area. You can get a house for 150,000, no HOA, and no what is that?
Oh yeah.
No lot rent or anything like that. Anything here in Reno Sparks is going to cost for a condo 300,000 plus with HOA, or in housing is going to be 450 plus with an HOA. I can't afford that. Like, who can afford that? I can't
Oh, I
even
know. Like
100K. I can't afford that. I make 100K. I can't afford that kind of house.
California was expensive when I left. I mean, it'd be like almost half a million for a home,
Right.
and then if you had HOA fees, were nuts. Um, Ryuki saying, because like I said, he says Simplex says the corners could be a bit rounder. I don't know what that. Uh, why is he saying? Why is he saying that, Ryuki? Now there's something about. Do you think it's something that we have to take them off the stream, right? It says something, can Avita please get out of the way? Uh, it's the translation. Uh, what language is it? Is it German? Reiki, you're impressing me now that you speak. Because I speak Spanish. Oh yeah, it's German. You got me impressed there, Ryuki. Um, no, like I said, Ryuki's out in Jacksonville, and she's also trans. I've had her here on my StreamYard before. Um, you know, I don't know if you know, you've picked up on what my channel's about. We talk about transition. And like I said, as far as sports, I do triathlon. I haven't done one probably since COVID hit. They kind of shut everything down. Uh, do you have any questions for Yuki? Hopefully we can start getting more of our subs in here. Um, but yeah, I do triathlon. Like hobby wise, I like to work on my vehicle, obviously. Um, I like to go hiking. The mountain right behind my place. Uh, Real nice trails. Any particular hobbies you have?
Me right now, I do. I play Fortnite. I shouldn't probably not play that, but I don't know. I play that just to kill time on the side, and I play a legacy game that just kills time, keeps me out of trouble. So that's good.
Right.
My Thankfully my sex drive is zero. I have no sex drive at all, so that's actually kind of a blessing in a way.
Right.
So I'm not like always, having guys come over and all that kind of stuff because there's plenty that will. I'm not interested in all that. I just want one guy that wants something serious more than just a one-time thing. So safety is a big deal too for anybody. Like you can't just
Right.
have guys coming over. Hey, let me come over and we'll have fun now because you don't know what their intent is. Are they going to rob you or are they going to kill you? You don't know. So you have to be very careful, especially the
Yeah.
trans, because some people just they want to do harm, nothing good, just harm. So not doing that.
Correct.
I've done some things in the past, but I'm not going to do them anymore. I had my fun in 2023. I had my fun, and I'm good.
Yeah, that's what I always say. I've had my fun, but I'm 50. I've had my fun. I've enjoyed my life. Now I can just relax and go through it, do whatever activities I want. I know I was very limited in Florida when I was still with my ex over there. If I went out somewhere, she'd be like, "What are you gonna go do?" And then she had that. What was that app that tracks you where you're at? Why are you at this location? Why are you at that location? It's horrible.
Oh no, that sounds toxic.
Yeah, it was toxic. Yeah, and she's still, like I said, technically we're still married. So it's like I still have to have her on my insurance. So like today, she texted me asking me for, you know, a copy of the card for the, for the eye insurance.
You have
Now
any
my
kids?
sub here, Rayuki, I have one daughter. I she and I have stepson, I should say, from my first marriage. Um, he's in the Navy, and my daughter is currently working on her master's degree on in um, administration of nonprofit organizations. So
All right.
she
So
works for a nonprofit. hmm She works for a nonprofit for the deaf, and gets them phones that have screens on them, and they're free phones. So.
nice. That sounds like a really good cause.
hmm
That sounds
And my stepson, he's a damage control officer on the ship. So he's a firefighter.
nice. They're all grown.
Yeah, yeah, and she also does for the local hockey team over there in Florida. She does kind of like cheerleading, but they'll go like get the kids to announce the start of the game. They'll get and then they'll go out and do this teddy bear toss, so she has to go pick up things off the ice. I never know she was such a good ice skater. I would think she was the daughter of one of my ex girlfriends from San Diego, who was a figure skater. So, but no, I never knew she could ice skate so well. She's quick.
Wow,
I've watched her videos on the ice and stuff. Uh,
nice.
Now,
I would
Ryuki also
go ahead.
subscribes to your, yeah, she also subscribes to your channel.
Okay.
Hmm.
My tiny little map on the on YouTube. I took all my content. I had a lot of transition videos and stuff on there, but I took them all down.
Hmm.
So I'm just focused on just doing interviews and those kind of things. That's what I'm focused
Yeah,
on.
I noticed the name of your channel is Interviews with Avita.
Yep.
So who do you do interviews with? Just people
I
interview you or you?
I had what you know who Buck Angel is?
No,
Pretty big. I had
I
a
don't.
one-on-one with him on his platform. So this was in
Hmm.
2022. So I'm trying to get an interview with I'd have to look. Um, give me a sec. I can Jordan B. Peterson. You know who that
Right?
is? I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to get an interview with
No,
him because he's done a story on the
actually.
detransitioner. I was
Oh
reached
wow.
out to him to see if he would be interested in doing a story on a transitioner that was successful in curing 36 years of gender
Right.
dysphoria. Because the way his mind thinks, he's going to be like, oh, I want to talk to this person. So because I would love to have that interview and be on his platform, but reaching out like a
I've got.
solicitation might not work out. He has a form that you fill out, and I filled it all out. So
Mhm. I've got a. I just had an interview. Someone interviewed me about 2 weeks ago, and I'm an ex-Mormon. So uh, actually, I was in a church that was very discriminatory towards us. And I remember I was so into the church, it's basically a cult, and that at one point I remember putting up signs, and they would tell us in church, "Hey, let's put up signs because this gay marriage bill is going to pass. They want to pass it in California. Let's go out and put up signs. We have them in the back of the church building. Let's go, put them up." And then years later, I come out and hello, Claudia, and you know now it's completely different. It's perspective, and I've basically done my deconstruction. And if you look on my channel, I do have a list of videos about what they teach. And I recently did a video on here on StreamYard where someone interviewed me, and he's an excommunicated Mormon, and he's starting a kind of I call it an anti-church because basically it's a church for atheists and agnostics. And he interviewed me because I'm transgender, and he wants to come out with like a ritual for transgender people coming out. And he's going to call it like the Christmas ritual, kind of like the journey from being the caterpillar to transforming into the butterfly that you are.
yeah,
And
that's
I
pretty
thought it was
cool.
an interesting thing. And then he's going to try to get me on another channel with a gentleman, um, and he's got a PhD in psychology, and he did his whole thesis on the LGBTQIA family and how big a suicide rate was in Utah. And when the church just came out with a very anti-trans policy, he like started interviewing trans people all the time. So he's trying to get me on that channel, um, which would be a big platform. But I think it will be interesting.
Yeah, if you get on some of the bigger platforms, that'll help your channel too, because people are like, oh, I want to check this channel out. Oh, subscribe. You know, it can make your channel blow up too,
Yeah.
or get a lot bigger
Mm.
quicker, more quickly. I used to have another YouTube channel years ago for gaming. I used to do giveaways and stuff, and
Right.
that would be a way to. I didn't require people to subscribe to win get gift cards and stuff, but they still did anyway. So I had like 4 or 5 thousand subscribers. This was 2018 or
Hmm.
so, but I don't do that stuff, that kind of content anymore. So
I've done like I've tried 30 giveaways here, but people haven't claimed what I had. So I said after 30 days, it's not valid. And like right now, I have to do my next one because I like doing things in increments of 51,
yeah,
and I've hit that 510 mark. And I want to do my next giveaway. I just have to do like probably a short live stream because it's hard. I noticed that I couldn't find a way of doing a video just to myself because I just want it to myself. It's not everybody because that's who deserves, this item. Uh, okay, I have a question for you from one of my subs, Claudia. It says, "Were you or are you religious?"
no, I'm not. I used to be. I grew up in the Christian faith with my grandma and stuff like that. We go into church and all that, but I was never truly a believer of anything. So I don't believe in God or any of that stuff. So
Yeah, I myself, I've deconstructed I'm a atheist. Uh,
mhm.
you know, I get so much hate for that too. Have you ever gotten that trolls like that? They tell you have to start following Jesus and all this and that. They jump into the streams, and
I get those
I
remarks
just,
on some of my videos in the
mhm,
past. My
yeah,
okay, isn't there a song though like that debunks that? Like Jesus loves all the children of the world, no matter yellow, black, and white, blah blah blah, all that. I don't know the song exactly, but he loves
yeah, no,
everyone, right? So it doesn't matter if you're trans or whatever.
yeah,
You're
and one
included.
of the biggest, I don't, one of the biggest arguments I give them, I'm like, well, I said, if you read the Bible, I'm like, in Genesis, God created a man. And when he figured out he needed a mate, he took part of that man and made it into a woman. I'm like, so wouldn't that woman be a transgender form of that man? And that lights a fire in a lot of people.
Yeah.
Ryuki, okay, so my Ryuki is asking us our feelings on agnostics.
Isn't that
So, Ryuki, agnostics are people that believe in a higher power, in a God or, uh, but don't follow an actual faith. So there's people that are say they're okay, Ryuki. Then what are you saying? Okay, so me with agnostics, I'm like me with people. It's just they can believe what they want to believe, but to me, there's not enough proof of everything. Or they question their existence. That's what Ryuki's saying. Well, I think we all question our existence in a way. I mean, I remember as growing up, I used to always say, "This is me. I'm here." You know. Any thoughts on that?
Uh, I just grew up in the Christian faith, but I never,
Hmm.
like as an adult, I just kind of lost my path, and I just say I'm not
Right.
religious anymore. So, is there something
Yeah, that's
higher, is
where.
there a higher power? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't believe in that
Yeah,
stuff.
and that's yeah. I've deconstructed all that. I'm like, there's no proof of everything that's in this book. There's so many versions of this book. Who knows which one of these copies is right? You know, I can pull out 10 versions of the Bible, and that's why I don't believe it.
Yeah,
You know?
I just think it's a distraction because you to get people interested in
Hmm.
like learning about it and stuff like that. You got to have amazing, awesome stories to keep people captivated to want to like listen to sermons and stuff, saying these walking on water and
Hmm.
all these different things. That sounds freaking amazing, considering how old the verbiage from the book is. You know, people walking on water and
Right.
parting rivers and all these things. I mean, I know a lot of stuff about it, but it's stuck
Hmm.
in there somewhere. But I don't know. It's just kind of like a
Yeah,
movie.
my thing.
Got to be exciting. That's all it is to me. The Bible. It's a bunch of
Yeah,
great stories.
it's a book.
Yeah,
An adventure book, basically. Yeah, and it's the same thing to me. And it's like, for example, I always ask, well, where's if it had to be such a big boat, where's this ark? You know, and everybody says, oh, they found it on so and so mountain, and I look it up, and it just says this may have possibly been the resting place. That's all I find. So,
yep.
um, were you were you military? Seeing that you work
I've
for the
worked
government.
for I've worked on military bases as a civilian with a
Hmm.
secret clearance or whatnot. I worked for banks that were on a military base, things like that too. So I worked at Edwards Air Force Base. I was on that base for a while years ago.
Okay, yeah. See, I work on RVA is actually located on an Air Force base. Not that we have to go through the front gate, but they have their hospital unit there.
Do you have
So
like
you
a
see
cat?
the active.
Do you have a cat card and
Yeah.
stuff?
So yeah. So they'll come by, and you'll see the active duty walking into like our cafeteria, our store. You'll see them walking through our hospital. So it's pretty interesting. I almost took a job at Las Cruces recently. So, Ryuki, she's really asking some questions. What is your thoughts on the Matrix? Oh, so we're gonna get into movies here.
That movie is freaking awesome, though. I love that movie. The Matrix movie is great. Yeah.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is a great actor.
Oh yeah.
More into his John Wick movies. Um, when he did Point Break. Um, I'm more of a Star Wars fan, though. I'm a big Star Wars geek. I did. I actually have a last year. I did a maybe the fourth video listing all the movies in the order that I like them, from the least favorite to the most, and I give my rationale why. And then I did another follow up video on the TV shows because I watched them all and I broke them down why. And
I'm curious.
I didn't just say, oh, I'm like, why this one? Why this one? Why this? I wasn't just gonna list them. I had to give my rationale.
Is that one of your videos you did on your stream or YouTube?
Hmm. Yeah,
I may have
May the
not.
4th.
Okay.
Yeah, look, you look at the May the 4th be with you.
Yep. There's a couple movies that stick in my mind that are pretty good. Meet Joe Black, I thought was an amazing movie with Brad Pitt. Meet
Right.
Joe Black.
Hmm.
That movie was phenomenal because the story and the acting was just very well done. And I'm not a Will Ferrell fan, but Knights of Talladega, I absolutely love that movie, especially
Oh,
when
that movie's
the French guy
hilarious.
made out with him at the end. Oh God, Ooh,
Yeah,
I was like,
I
I was never a
you
Will
know.
Ferrell fan until I saw that movie. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Well, let me that movie is hilarious. And I remember seeing the sign. I used to take my daughter to the movies all the time when she was little. I think I saw the Talladega Nights sign, and I'm like, oh, I gotta see that. I watch NASCAR. I'm into NASCAR also.
Right.
And and so uh I see it and I'm like, oh cool, a comedy about NASCAR. So then I take my daughter to see it and she's like 9. And all of a sudden I didn't know Will Ferrell was what kind of movies he made. So sure
Elf.
enough, I take her to see the movie, and then the only part she remembered and started repeating from there, and I thought, oh great, she's gonna go to mom's house, back to mom's house, repeating everything. And the only part she remembered was, when he's like flips his car and he's flying in the air and he goes, oh, I'm flying through the air now. That's what stuck in her head. Uh,
Okay, we'll take
now,
that.
I'll take,
You didn't want to see
um,
the scene at the end where they were trying to sign his balls? Hop the fence, get right there. Oh,
yep.
well, you shouldn't say
Let's
that.
see. I think Ryuki, she's asking, since you're into gaming, have you ever played 4D Miner, or what do you think of it?
No, I've never played
'Cause
that.
I've never.
I played a lot of games where you got to throw a lot of money at them, so I kind of stopped doing that. Fortnite's still like that because you pay
Right.
for cosmetics, but it's not as bad as some of these games. Just it's ridiculous. The only thing I play right now, Apex Legends occasionally, Fortnite, and then I play an old legacy game called Pirate 101.
I used to
That's
play
that's
Call of Duty a lot, but I wasn't like one of you go on there and you do it online. Some of these kids will just come by you and boom, they gotcha. You know, and I wasn't really into
that's how it is in
that
Fortnite.
much.
Same thing.
But overall, I mean, I'm not a big gamer. In fact, my Xbox is in. I still have a pod in Florida, and I have to pay $300 a month for whatever furniture I have in there. But $340 a month, and then I have to pay $3,200 for it to get shipped over here. I think I'm gonna go back, load up a U-Haul, and then drive it.
It's a lot. Yeah. What is that like? Yeah, pods are expensive, especially if you don't like utilize it right away. You can't if you use it as storage, it's horrible. The rates are bad.
Mhm. See. Let's see. Ryuki's comment says a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence or nature of God or of anything beyond material phenomenon, a person who claims neither faith or disbelief in God. Oh, I think that's what he means by agnostic. See, one thing Ryuki and I have in common is that we're both ex-Mos or ex-Mormons. Um, so, um, yeah, I mean, here I know it's been a nice journey here in New Mexico compared to Florida because over there was definitely discriminatory.
It's probably a little less humid. You're
Um,
not at 300% humidity in New Mexico.
oh no, it's 40 degrees outside right now.
No, the humidity level in Florida is like 200% in most
Mhm.
of the state.
Yeah, I
I've
used to go
never
out
been
running in it too.
there.
I used to go out running. I'd do for like 5 miles with my dog. But um, yeah, and then I'd come home and you're just drenched when after the run. Um,
I know what it's like. I used to live in Alabama, and so as soon as you go outside on some
mhm.
days, you're like already sweating. As soon as you walk outside, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's good
New
for your skin,
Mexico
though.
is dry.
It's,
Mhm.
it's good for your skin.
New Mexico is dry heat. Mexico's
Mhm.
very heat, but all I do, actually, I couldn't even figure out the AC in here. The heater works fine, but the AC wasn't working over the summer. So I bought a fan. No big deal.
Make them fix it. You're renting, so
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like called them twice, and then today I went over to the management office because they put new locks on here, and they didn't put one on the this back door that's right behind me, where like yeah, my trans flag. Right there, there's a small door that's supposed to be like my balcony. I live on the first floor, so it doesn't even have a little fence to it. So I can just walk out to my car that's parked right there. But the front doors, they put like electronic locks where you just type in your combination. And
mm,
I didn't know the combination, and they've been on for like 3 months. But the keys over here, I can use the key over here, so I just go in and out over here.
yeah. I dread calling maintenance for anything in my apartment. It takes them a long time to fix anything.
Yeah, same here. Uh,
Yeah.
I had an issue, and I had to call on it 3 times, and it had rained, and um, and the water started like I walked into my bedroom, and all of a sudden my feet feel wet. And luckily my bedroom furniture aren't isn't here yet. I feel it wet, and I look down, and there's this ocean in my bedroom.
Ooh.
So I like mopping as fast as I can. It was by an outlet. I'm like calling the management, hotline, and they're like, you know, trying to tell me, oh, well, we'll get someone there. And it's pouring rain outside, and they call me back. No, we can't get them there safely. They won't be able to go up on the roof. I'm like, so then I had to block it off with towels. I was able to dry it up. Then it happened again. They hadn't fixed it. Finally, a guy came and looked at it, and he said, "Oh, is it your bathtub or maybe your hot water heater?" I'm like, "No, it happened over here." I'm like, "It's probably leaking from outside into here." And it turned out to be the roof of all things. They had to re-roof that section.
Yeah. It happens.
Yep.
I've had that happen a few times. I had some leaks above me, and I dread it. I'm dreading when the pipe for the what is it, the washer, yeah, for the washer for the drain for the upstairs unit,
Right.
every like around 10 years or so. I don't know when is the last time it's been snaked, but every around 10 years you got to snake those lines because they get clogged up. They start backing up sludge, and since I'm in the bottom unit, it's going to back sludge up in my unit. I'm like, hopefully I'm
Well,
not here
right
for that.
now, I'm lucky that the unit above me just got empty. I used to have a real good neighbor there. Now he's like 2 units down on the bottom floor because he moved to the East Coast and then came back. And then there was a person that moved in up there, and they would stomp around all night. I don't know what they did. They would just stomp around like they were loud.
They're playing Twister.
Yeah, I think it
Oh,
was a type of twister, but I don't. I'm not gonna. And then the apartment next to me is empty, and the one above it's empty. So actually, out of these 4 units, I'm the only one with one with
yeah.
a person in here.
I just got a
But
new
next
neighbor.
door, yeah, next door, my friend's gonna rent it. So she works with
Nice,
me in Florida.
nice.
Yeah.
I just got a new neighbor
What are your
upstairs.
thoughts? Oh, cool. Yeah, I got my friend a job that I worked with in the VA in Florida. She's coming to the VA here. She's in Nashville right now. So um, I'm probably gonna be flying there in January to help her move back.
Okay.
That'll be a fun trip. See, what are your thoughts on Carl Sagan?
I don't. I personally don't have any thoughts on. I don't even know who that is. So I can't
Yeah,
answer that. I don't
I'm
know who
kind
that
of.
is.
I'm drawing a blank. Uh, I've heard the name before. Okay, what's Claudia saying here? Took my landlord's 3 months to fix a leak. It gets me upset that I pay rent. most definitely. I think many landlords take their time. When I was out in Florida, it was the same thing. And we lived on a well system and septic. Oh, if the septic got backed up, they were like, "Oh, well, it shouldn't be this full already." Well, it is. You know,
Mm.
send the plumber or someone to empty it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules and Avita. We have like 4 people watching here. Feel free to jump into the chat to ask any questions you have for us. Um, here on the channel, everyone is welcome. Please do keep comments respectful. No disrespect towards anyone, please. I always notice. Do you ever notice that like my live streams that I do vertical get more hits than if they're uh, horizontal? Someone taught me that. I don't know where I read it somewhere.
Hmm. Okay.
So if you
Interesting.
ever do live streams, yeah, it's interesting. It's best to do like if you're doing one yourself, do it vertical. That's why I use my phone a lot. Right now, it's just because StreamYard's giving me such a hassle on my computer. I'll pull up, StreamYard.com. It'll be fine, and then I hit login. It should log in automatically, which it does. But then I get a blank screen.
Yeah,
So I don't
I
know what's
recommend
going on.
OBS. I recommend OBS. It's a better platform, but you
It,
can have a subscription to all the bells and whistles. That's what I used to use when I streamed. So you can stream like
right.
a game or something, or one video content and another video content, or multiple sources. I have two computers with a capture card, one to
Hmm.
capture the video and sound from my input, and the other for the gaming content separate. So I have two systems still to this day.
Are you on Twitch? I know
No,
that's a
I'm not.
game.
No, I'm not on Twitch. I used to do YouTube streaming, but that was back in 2018, 2019. Have you
Yeah, I
been?
know a
Have
lot
you?
of people. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, all right. Have you been dating or anything since you've come out? Have you?
No, I haven't dated. Not yet. I mean, I am ready. It's just um, I'm from the person too. You know?
I get that. I've dabbled in. There was a guy I was seeing for like 8 months, and he just wanted a buddy. He didn't want a girlfriend, so I
Hmm.
had to call it off. And that was I was with him just before my surgeries and stuff. So I think February, like after the Super Bowl, the 49ers game, that
Hmm.
Super Bowl, or was it that one? The
Hmm.
49ers, and I forget the other team. Um, Shoot, but it was Super Bowl, beginning of the year. That was the last time I was with him. So
It had to be the Chiefs because the Chiefs won last year.
yeah, I guess it was the
They
Chiefs. So
won the last
49ers,
three.
Chiefs, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So I went to that game with him. So, but that was the last time I was with him. But he just wanted a buddy. He didn't want like a girlfriend. So, but he had his own personal demons with, because I was the first like trans or this type of person he's ever been with. So I don't know if it was related to that or not. So, but yeah,
Right.
it's just, I only date men. I don't date women. I'm only interested in men. And the hormones changed my how I feel about guys, because in the earlier days, because I've always been into guys, even when I was a teenager.
Hmm.
But it was and when I was younger, it was mostly just for the physical, just the physical. I wasn't into
Right.
kissing. It was just the physical. Without getting too descriptive, it was receiving the physical part. I enjoyed that. But now, since the hormone
Okay.
therapy and all that stuff, now it's an emotional connection and bond. I can't just
Hmm.
fool around with random guys. I have to get to know you, and I have to have something more than just
Hmm.
the physical. So I basically just turned into a girl. It basically is what
Right.
happened. So I'm okay with that. It's fine.
See,
It's normal.
with, on my case, I am more. I still like women, so being a girl, I always say I'm a trans lesbian, or I call it a transbian, you know, because I'm still into women, still check out women. At first, I thought it was bisexuality, but no, I like, and
Your
I would
T
try to
levels are
be
still high.
more
Your T levels are still pretty high from that video I saw. If
at
that one sec
100. Yeah, they're
100 is
104.
high. 100 is high.
Yeah,
And you're on a blocker. That's pretty
and
high. My T level is
I'm on two
3.
blockers.
My T
Oh
level is
wow,
3. But that was before my surgery. It was
it's
3.
like nothing.
Yeah, it's almost 0.
Uh, Someone's asking, have we watched Wicked? I haven't.
No, I haven't watched that. I don't watch a lot of
No.
TV stuff. Like when I was recovering from surgery, the Talladega movie, I saw that, and that's where I saw that. I'm
Hmm.
like, wow, this is. Then I had to watch it on YouTube because I'm like, I'm gonna watch it again.
Hmm.
So, but
He's a lot of his movies. That's the same personality he takes on, and he's
well,
funny.
I don't like his Elf movies, so that's why I never was a Will Ferrell fan. But now he's doing more serious roles. I'm like, so.
Hmm.
But I was on spiralactone for 6 months, and from month 3 to month 6, my eyesight, I can't see anything up close anymore. I'm on a class action lawsuit against that pill maker, that brand, for vision
Oh,
loss.
really?
Yeah, getting money is not going to
Oh,
bring my
wow.
vision back permanently. It's permanently gone. So I have to wear really
Right.
strong glasses for anything. Like I can see this fine because I'm far enough away.
Hmm.
I can see far away just fine, but up close, I can't. I'm blind. Even like my hand is blurry. So I can put my glasses on. And I can see. So I'm on a class suit for that. It's the worst drug in my that I've ever been on, and like inside of all my bones was achy and hurting. Like
Right.
inside my bones, I had bone pain. So I was so happy to get off that drug when I got the orchiectomy done. But my T levels were like 55 or something like that when I was on that. And I was only on 100,
Hmm.
100 milligrams, or half of the max dose is what I was on, whatever that is. I don't remember.
I'm on. I'm on 50 milligrams.
Maybe it was 50.
So
It might have been 50.
yeah, they can go up to 100, but I don't know. I think my nurse practitioner is thinking of bringing up the estradiol. She just did the levels, and I was at 77. So I
How
think she's
many
probably going to adjust it.
how many milligrams of
I
estradiol are you taking?
two twice a day, 2 milligrams.
Oh, that's probably not enough, but I'm not your doctor, so all your stats have to check out. I'm
Yeah.
on 8. Yeah, I'm on 8 milligrams of that 8 estradiol a day and 100 milligrams of progesterone. You only can have progesterone in 100 or 200. It's a round pill
Yeah.
that's a liquid in a pill, and you can't break them
Yeah.
up or split them up. So I'm doing that. My
Yeah. I'm
breast
on
growth has, and my sex drive went even lower once I started taking that too. But I don't care about that. Doesn't matter. But if once you get off the spiralactone, and you'll notice your orientation on what your preferences are may change. I was kind of surprised because I was kind of
Okay.
like sort of kind of bi. I can mess with girls, but it wasn't really like my top thing. But now I
Hmm.
just thinking about it disgusts me. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I was just started on progesterone last month.
All
On
right.
the Yeah, I think it's at 200 um, a milligram dose of progesterone. Because she said what she explained to me is because they say it's a lot having to do more with the breast development, and she said it's not so much going to give you larger ones, is what she told me,
The
but
shape of your
that it
nipples,
helps.
nipple shape and
The
growth.
shapes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it helps contour them better.
Yep, I agree,
Hmm.
100%. I've been taking that since month 6 on HRT.
Yeah,
So,
so I'm on month. I went at month. It was about month 10, so that's when she started me on it.
yep.
Mm.
So, I'm very happy with my breast growth. I have a C cup now. I'm shocked.
Oh
I was like,
wow.
are these things going to grow? Because, like, they still ache all the time. They're always achy. I'm sure you have the same kind of
Hmm.
sensation. Always achy. Like,
Oh
in
yeah.
the first few hours after you take your hormones, they get even achier. So mine are a C
I
cup and they're
remember,
still
I,
achy.
remember-
I'm a little nervous. I might get a D cup.
yeah,
It's fine.
yeah, a D cup would be my max size that I would want, but I'm like at an. I always say it's an A&1/2 because I I buy B cup bras and I'm almost filling them, but I know I'm at an A still kind of. So and I'll buy something just underwire usually. Like today, I'm not wearing an underwire one. I'm wearing like that. Remember we talked? I think you told me about getting sports bras, and I
Yes.
talked about the kind of little tanks that I buy that go all the way down, but they're still supportive. Yeah, that's what I purchased. That's what I'm wearing right now.
How about
And
leotards that have a built-in built-in bra with you can have insertable pads. I wear those too. Leotards that go with this whole snap crotch thing. I
oh,
don't know if you wear those or
right,
not. And I have
I
I have
haven't,
those.
but
That's my underlayer when I wear stuff because I wear like my underwear, then my bra, then I have like yoga pants and a shirt, like a yoga shirt, and then I
mhm.
do a leotard over that. It pulls everything in nice. Pulls you get the curvy
Oh,
figure and
good.
all that. It really does help a lot. So
Those are all good suggestions.
yeah, and I got a
Yeah.
brand that I
Uh,
I fancy because it makes the butt look really good too.
Ooh,
Because it's just yeah,
yeah, I did.
good stuff.
I did buy like at first I had a breastplate, but I stopped wearing that because I started getting enough growth that I
Yeah,
didn't need it.
for
So
sure.
I'm like, feel, feel confident about what I have now rather than, try to. So I just threw it out, and really, one of the big things I have to practice now is tucking. I do have to get some like tucking panties, you know, um, or a gaff. I don't know which will work better.
What when I used to have that, when I never used a
Hmm.
gaff or anything like that. I just
Hmm.
with the my underlayer method, I didn't have to even do anything. It was
Okay.
fine. I'm not going to get descriptive on this video with you on that, but yeah, I didn't really
That's
have to
true.
tuck. I didn't really have to tuck. So I just with what I had, I was able to pull it off. But yeah, now it's even better. Like I don't have to, it's gone. Thank God it's gone. Such a good feeling to have that gone.
Yeah.
It was in my
Oh
dysphoria was
yeah.
mostly about going to the bathroom because like you. I remember you mentioned that you used to sit to go when you were younger and stuff. I always sat to
Hmm.
go. I've never used a wall urinal in my life.
Hmm.
I've always sat to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I've always sat. My ex-wife loved that because I never peed on the seat or on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But yeah, it's guys are I don't know they just can't seem to get it in the toilet properly. They'll get it on the seat, like in shared bathrooms at my work that I was at before. There'd be pee on the seat. I'd have to wipe the seat off just to use. I'm like, come on. So, but yeah, the whole
Luckily,
bathroom.
there at the VA, the VA actually has gender gender neutral bathrooms. I like that. You know, but so many places are trying to do away with that. You
Yeah,
know,
there was a
so.
time where I used to use the men's room even though I was in a dress and all that stuff. I
Hmm.
used to up until that Super Bowl game with that when I had that date. That's when it clicked, and I'm like,
Hmm.
you know what? I can't go to the men's room anymore. I'm too far along. I have to start using the women's room. And that was before I had the surgery, and I didn't pass in the face still. My hairline was way back here, way because
Hmm.
part of the face surgery was bringing the hairline forward. Night and day difference. Like
Hmm.
it's it's just unbelievable. I do have a slight comb over, but it's just to pull off the slick with two little hair clips. But my
Hmm.
hairline was just it was a wreck before. Now it's a lot better than it was. So, but
Yeah.
I was
Yeah. I'm still with
feeling
the wigs.
yeah. I wasn't doing wigs in 2023, but just walking into a men's room and like I'd get some of the most looks of disgust on people's faces. I'm like, so I just stopped going to the men's room. I started going to the women's room, and women don't really care. Just get out of the stall so I can use it next. It's pretty much the I just go in there, do my thing, get out. Now it doesn't even matter anymore. So because no one's gonna notice or say anything. Now, I see these TikTok videos
Right.
like, hey, you don't belong in that bathroom, and it's like someone that doesn't pass, and they're clearly not trying hard enough at all. They have a beard and all that stuff, and they're
Mhm.
just going to, oh, I identify as trans. Well, you don't need to be in that bathroom if you are not even putting an effort in. That's just my opinion. At least shave.
Right.
Come on, that's the easiest thing you could do. But
Yeah. When I started going to with my gender therapist, she said, "Well, she's all there's so many types of trans. She's all there's the people people may identify as a woman, but they still wear a beard, and there's I was kind of like, why would you to me, it was kind of a question like, why would I do that? If I want to ask a woman, you know, but I guess every to each their own, uh, you know.
I could think of some YouTubers and TikTokers that do that. They have the beard and all that.
Mhm.
They don't pass at all. Like that, you're a guy. I'm sorry. I mean, I support you, but get rid of that face hair, man. A beard is
Yeah,
a
that.
guy thing. That's not a woman thing. Sorry. I know
Hmm.
some women that have PCSOD and those kind of things. Yeah, they're gonna get some face hair growth, but a woman's gonna shave it off too. They're not gonna leave face hair on their face. No way.
Right.
Absolutely not. No hairy
Yeah,
armpits
I
either.
mean,
I shave those too. No way. My hair
oh,
doesn't grow that much.
I've been shaving my legs since high school, and I think it really started with the fact that I was a swimmer, you know.
Okay.
But I like them nice and smooth. And now it hardly even grows back when they shave them, or it takes its time.
Yeah, I've been shaving my whole body basically since I was in my 20s.
Hmm.
Yeah, I shave areas I'm not even going to mention, but yeah, but my hair growth is reduced a lot. So I only have to shave my legs every like 2 months, and
Hmm.
it's still very fine. But if I have a date or something, I'm getting the razor out. I'm shaving. Oh, for sure.
Right.
But normally I don't have to shave that, and it's just kind of a routine I do in the
Hmm.
shower, like every couple months. But the armpits are 100% every time I take a shower. They're getting shaved because I don't want hair there, and I don't actually sweat like I did before. So my sweat patterns have changed. So I don't sweat even in warm clothes, and it's warm. I don't sweat anymore. So that's kind of nice.
Right. Hmm.
And if I forget
I
to
know
put
that
deodorant on
they
or
say the
something,
body. I hear the body odor changes also. One of the big things. That's how I started. What you could say pre-transition. I
mm-hmm.
started using feminine, you know, products such as my deodorant, little
Yep.
things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's one of the biggest things I always give advice on is start using feminine deodorant or like I started buying lotions like Bath Body Works type stuff. And that's a big thing. My hands are always very rough still because I wash so much at work. So I always have to have lotion. I have like what it's just sitting on my desk here. I have 3 containers of it,
Yeah.
but they all have to be moisturizing.
For me, it's my face and my feet.
Okay, I've got another question here from Ryuki.
Okay.
She says, "What is your favorite, a dress or pants?"
Um, dress or pants? I wear. I wear
Mhm.
dresses.
Oh,
Uh,
cool. Yeah.
yeah. So like a dress with yoga pants and boots or something like that. That's my favorite go to wear. I used to wear tight booty jeans and all that junk before I had the surgery,
Hmm.
but I mean, I tried it and yeah, it looks good and all, but it's just not comfortable to wear real tight jeans for me now.
Right.
So, and I hate having camel toe and having to be really conscious about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I didn't have it before when I used to tuck and stuff, but now I have the appropriate anatomy, it's pulling up those tight jeans, you're gonna have camel toe. It looks fine on the backside, but not in the front. I can't do it. But if I pull them down, I can
Mm-hmm.
do it. But they're not comfortable because they're tight. But I guess that's
Right.
boot cut booty jeans and boots is that's a look. I still have the jeans. I'm not getting rid of them. They were like $60-$70 a pair. But
Right. Yeah. With me, I do. I'll do some. I have like one pair and tight jeans. I have my regular jeans and they're stretch. Like the fabric is stretchy, which is pretty cool. I like it, but they're probably still. These are. I have two pairs, and they're still my guy jeans, but I like them. The fit. They're not as wide as they used to be, but then I do enjoy my dresses. And then I'm like on my attire, I like going from here to here, you know, it could be something
yeah,
really, like a real nice dress. Sometimes I've done like on my channel, I've gone and done like a total goth look just to have fun, it's just, that's one of the things that's wonderful about being a woman is there's so much selection, you know,
yep,
and not like a guy that's limited to t-shirt and shorts, t-shirt and jeans, or a certain type of shirt. But nope, as a woman, you could wear all
yeah. I
because
like
I still.
tight, I have some tight sequin dresses that I wear that are pretty nice. But that
Nice.
undergarment stuff that I was telling you about, the leotard with the it pulls everything
Hmm.
in, it makes it even better when you're wearing the pretty tight stuff. Not too tight, but tight where your curves are very visible. And if you have obviously if you have underwear on, you're going to see your panty lines. But I don't care about that. I used to this the old job I used to work at before the I used to work at a casino, and when I would go
Hmm.
in, this one lady would rag on me. She says, "I see your panty lines." I'm like, "I don't care. Panty lines to me, I don't. It doesn't matter to me." But some people are like, "Oh, I
Go
want it to
spend
be
your money.
seamless." I'm like, I have to. Back then, I had to tuck. Like I needed something. I'm not gonna just.
Hmm.
That's not gonna work. I'm sorry, but um, yeah, I still need to wear something under there. I just can't go do the commando thing. I just never was. I never liked that.
Yeah, that's funny. We keep finding these things in common. Like parts of our past were very similar. But I worked at a casino too. Uh, I was security EMT in the casino in the past.
Okay,
So.
okay.
Mhm. Um, now, now, Ryuki. Well, I think this would be a no for you because has anyone got pain in the testicles? I don't. I've
Um,
never had it
I've had
unless
fan.
when.
I had phantom pain like after my surgery, my GRS for
Right.
I'd say the first couple weeks, and that went away. So I don't have any phantom pains or anything like that. So that's just be aware that that
Mhm.
could be a thing. You're like you have this pain. You're like, what the hell? They're gone. Why do I have a pain that you know? But I had that for about 2 weeks, and that went away. One because the nerves are like
And the ex.
reconnecting and all
Hmm.
that. So that went away after about 2 weeks. But
I
I
was
never
gonna
had
say
any.
that it has to do.
Yeah, I never had
It
any
has to
issues
do
with
with
it.
the. Yeah, it has to do with those nerves. They still feel like something's there.
Right, right.
It's same with amputees. Same thing. You
Yeah.
know, uh,
But
I
maybe
learned that. Yeah.
maybe that question was directed like during the tucking process or whatnot. When I used to do that,
Right.
I was never able to get the things to actually go up in the cavity and stay. They'd always drop back down.
Hmm.
So I never was successful in that. So, but when I was on HRT for a bit, they almost halved in size in 6 months. In the first 6 months, they halved
Yeah,
in size, and
that's what
then I got rid of them.
that's what Ray. Rayuki was asking, she says that any pain in pre-op.
Nope,
So,
nope, nope. I absolutely hated having that stuff too. Having to mess with that and
oh,
all that. Yeah.
that's the biggest part of my dysphoria. It's just, I remember even telling my therapist when I first started, I'm like, I just hate that. I'm like, it's there. I'm like, I don't like it, you
Yeah, they have
know?
to mess with it. It's
Like,
there. Yeah, exactly. I was talking with Blair White. I'm sure you know who that is. And she's like, well, why
mm-hmm,
don't you get the face surgery first? And I'm like, well, because my dysphoria, well, insurance pays for the GRS partly. So that's one. And my dysphoria
mm-hmm,
is more intense about that area than my face because my face before the surgery wasn't broken. It just wasn't as feminine as it could have been.
mm-hmm.
So, and I just did it in that order. I did GRS, then FFS 3 months later. But Blair's like, you should get the FFS first. I'm like, it's not about that. I can't go on FMLA for face surgery. I can go on FMLA for gender surgery. So she was
Right.
just, that was just something I remember she said to me. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
it's all life
yeah.
changing stuff once you get it done. Whew, it's just such a relief to have that just off the plate now. It's not an issue anymore. So
I just had one of my moderators jump on here. Her name's
yeah.
Trace. She's up in Canada, and she was just joking. She goes, "Who the funk is Blair White?" And then she goes, "JK." So she was just kidding. Uh,
Yeah.
so welcome, Trace. Obviously, you're on here with me, Jules, and Avita.
Avita. You almost
Avita.
got you
I'm
almost
sorry.
got it. Yeah, a lot of people say Avita because that's normal. The pronunciation of it is Avita, but I say it Avita.
Yeah,
So
I
I
could
want to
say Avita.
that works.
Also, because I'm Mexican, so
I'm just a white girl. Family history from the Czech Republic.
no, my family history is actually from Spain. Came along, which is kind of funny because I had a pet the other day and saw the last name on my jacket, and he goes, "You're from this part region of Spain, correct?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know." And then I went back, looked up the last name, uh, and then sure enough, he was right. I guess
That's
he
interesting.
had a Spanish wife. Oh, and Trace is saying, she says, "Hello, Avita," pronounced with an ah at the
It's got
end.
the little squiggly thing, so you have the A with a squiggle on the end. That's how it's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my daughter has an accent on her last E, like her name.
I was using a middle name when I first came out full time, but I took that away. I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need it. I don't need to make it fancy. First name, last name, that's fine. I don't need a middle name.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do it. I'm gonna keep it, people calling me Jules. It's always been, even with, before transitioning, people would call me that. So my new name will be a form of my dead name. So I may just keep it at Jules when I change it because it's always been a nickname. So you know, I
It's
thought,
pretty easy to
just keep it
it's
at
pretty
that.
easy to change your name nowadays. You don't have to
Hmm.
have any doctor letters or any of that stuff. You can just go to the state you were born in and get your birth certificate updated. You don't have to physically go there, but just reach out to
Right.
that. Yeah, I used easynamechange.com and they made it real easy for me to get it done because I was born in California, Los Angeles County, and there's like 88 courthouses in
Oh.
Los Angeles County. So they're like, oh yeah, just call the courthouse and work with them. And like, well, which one? We don't know. You got to figure that out yourself. Great.
I was born in I was born in El Centro, California. So probably one courthouse. So I grew up in
Yeah,
San Diego.
you just got to fill out their two
Uh,
forms, and it's really easy to
mhm.
do. So, but these guys, this
So
easy name change site, that they have like a back web portal to all the courthouses, so they get it submitted. The
oh
stuff they
wow,
get from you, they submit. It's like $200, and you're done.
oh
From for
cool. I'll have to do
their
that.
fees. The state of California charges $4.95, so you got to pay that on top of
Mm-hmm.
it. Of course, $495 to edit your
Like
name and save it. Such a rip.
yeah, and then on top of that, you got to go like New Mexico. When I moved here, I heard you could change your gender marker on your license just when you go get it. Tell them what
No,
your gender marker was. Um,
can you? Is that a
and
thing?
then mhm. Yeah, but the lady that helped me, I read it on the DMV website, or as they call it here, it's not a DMV, it's an MVD. But when I went there, the lady's all, oh no, no, she's all, it has to be the same as your old license in Florida. So I don't know if she was uncomfortable me asking or what, so I
It's
just let
different
it
for different
be.
places. Wow, because here they
Hmm.
won't let you do it. You got to change your birth certificate name and gender marker first, then your social security card. With those both, then you can change your driver's license name and gender marker. So you got to do it in that order: birth certificate,
Right.
social, then driver's license. And
Okay.
I think all 50 states you can change it now. Ryan. Get it done before Trump
Hmm.
changes it. So they're going to make it so in their Project 2025 thing. I'm not going to get into politics here, but one of the agenda items is to make it so the government only recognizes you by your birth gender. So that puts a wrench in there for a lot of trans people that already changed their name and gender marker. So what does that mean? So there hasn't been any further
Right.
classification on that. Like, what does that mean for someone that's already changed it? What does that mean?
Right.
My stuff says female. I'm legally female. I got the female parts. Why would I want to identify as my old name and old gender? That doesn't make any sense. I think it's going to get thrown out
Right.
in court. I don't think it's going to get past the court system. I really hope it doesn't,
No.
because that would be just stupid.
I
Uh,
think, okay, I got one question here. Do either of us feel non-binary? I
no, I
don't.
don't. I don't. I'm a girl, and that's it.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
yeah, that's it with me.
Basic girl.
Um, Same here. I mean, at work, I still, have to go as a male, but I feel uncomfortable when I'm at work, you
Oh,
know?
so you're not
Um,
in. You're not all. You're not how you are now at work.
I'm not at, no, no.
Oh,
But
come
my
on.
hair, my hair's about the same length. My regular hair is probably close to this length. So now the VA is actually very accepting here. Uh,
It's just
it's
tough.
I think.
If
Hmm.
you're a guy, then you transition at a job. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you switch jobs or
it
something,
is.
do it like that's what I did in 2019. I was between jobs and I
Hmm.
came out went full time. So the next job I had, I was Avita. But it was just a timing thing. Like I was out of work. I'm like, you know what? This is it. This is now or never. So, but my name
Yeah.
and gender markers didn't match in the beginning. The first
Mhm.
4 years, they didn't match. I
Right.
didn't get those changed until 2023 because there was restrictions in place before. I had to
Right.
have a physician letter and something else to get my birth
It,
certificate updated with
was it a
California.
therapist letter?
Yeah,
No.
a physician letter. They're your hormones prescriber
Okay.
doctor. But now
Okay.
that's not a thing anymore. You don't need that anymore. Anybody could change their
Well, that's
name
cool.
or gender marker for whatever reason you want. You don't even have to be
I'll have
trans.
to
You can
look
say
into that.
female if you want. But the thing is, if you go to jail and you have boy parts and your license says female, you're going to male prison. Doesn't matter what your documents say.
Right.
They're going to see when you strip down and you have boy stuff, you're going to go to men's prison. Don't do something, you'll have to go to jail, and you won't have that problem.
Oh, I work for the federal government. I would lose my job if I did something to go to jail.
Right, right. I get that.
Well, I mean, of course, there's our new president coming in. I mean,
No. Neither one of the choices were good. Both president. I'll just leave it at that. Neither one were a good choice. Do we have a third option here?
I think I would have liked the president, what's his name, of the Ukraine to be our president. Um, Zelensky. Am I right? Um, I think he would have been a great president. That guy was out on the front. Is out on the front lines. You know.
We don't even need a president. The president's just a puppet anyway, and there's a higher authority
Yeah.
above the president anyways. So the president is not the final say. He's just a puppet for the U.S. That's it.
So let's see. Are we still going to have X? Is what I don't get that question.
X is a gender flag, like non-binary,
Yeah, I know
X,
it's a gender.
male, female.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if they're going to change that or not.
that
Male or
yeah, because
female?
they have it here in New Mexico. Yeah, that's what I remember. That's what I requested when I moved here to New Mexico. I said, "Can I get an X on my driver's license?" And she was like, "No, it says male on your other one." I'm like, fine, whatever. I think it was her because I mean, my hair was already long when I was there. I mean, you look at my driver's license, you wouldn't be, you know, it would show.
I have my old
Let's see.
license from years ago, and when I look at the picture on that
Hmm.
one compared to my current one, which was the picture was taken
Hmm.
last year, completely
Hmm.
different person. Like I had to do a video verification for some documents, and they're like, "You don't look
Hmm.
like that license." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm a girl now. I'm not this guy anymore." So they had to like check my eyes and like line up things, and they're like, "Okay, it's you, but you look a lot different." And there's the same difference now
I did
than from
that.
a year ago for my surgery. I look a lot different. I got to go get my
I did
picture
that
in January.
the other day. What happened is I was setting up a Chime account because I was on the other interview. Someone interviewed me, and he said, "Set up a Chime account so I can put that account in the description and have my subs donate to you." And then like uh he when it asked me to verify, I did my driver's license and then I did my picture and I was all done up. And it matched. I
Mm,
guess it, like you said, it looks at the eyes. I don't know, but it
yeah,
matched.
the eyes never change. Doesn't matter what you do to your face. Same eyes,
Hmm.
and the eyes don't move either.
Yeah.
They're in the same spot. Yeah, that's interesting. So I have an appointment on 128 for the DMV, and it's just to update my picture on my
Right.
driver's license. That's it, because I look a lot different now than I did a year ago. So
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
yeah. So and then I'm
I
getting
mean,
my passport. After I have the actual physical new license, I'm getting my passport done because my old one expired like 6 years ago or something, and I need to get another one.
yeah, with me, it's going to be a lot of extra steps. So it's going to be obviously social security card, driver's license. My passport's expired right now, so I'll have to get one. But then I have to change my nursing license, all my documents at work. It's a lot of work.
Yep. Birth certificate first, then social, then driver's license, then all your work documents and your bank stuff. And you need to keep that name change
Oh,
decree, court order name change decree paper from the courthouse, because that's your proof that who you are, who you were, and who you are now. You need that document.
right.
It's a sealed document with the stamp on it.
Okay. Got another question here. Why does Blair White despise non-binary gender dysphoria?
I can't really answer that. I don't really watch her stuff that
Yeah,
much.
I don't watch it either.
She, I don't know. Her channel and what she's about is mostly negativity stuff, just knocking
Hmm.
on people's silly TikToks and stuff like that. Same with Buck Angel. They both did the same thing. They got so big from the negativity in the community, not really the positivity stuff. So And
Correct.
you know, I don't know. I have my own opinion of that person, but I'm not gonna really say anything here on this platform. I'm gonna keep it clean. So
Yeah, I've hardly ever watched any of her stuff. I watch a lot. Um, like I said, I watch Mama Shar. I watch Victoria Rose, um, Samantha Lux. Um, trying to think who else. Um, I think I. Oh yeah, I do watch Luna Rose from time to time. Uh, she's mainly a drag queen, but she is transitioning. That I understand
all those names I know, I've seen them at one point. I
now.
don't follow. The only one I think you and Jackie Rabbit are the only ones I follow.
Yeah,
I
that's
was following
and
more.
Jackie Rabbit.
Yeah, Jackie Rabbit's
Yeah,
great. She never does any content though because she's so busy working supposedly. But that's fine.
I
But her
I
stories
like
out
her
there, like
content.
yeah, she's got great editing as well. So um,
She was straight up though. Yeah,
yeah,
I
I mean, the
totally agree.
channel served its purpose for me, and I'm still subscribed because I like the channel. But I'd recommend
Hmm.
anyone who's older, if you're trans or thinking about transitioning, she's got a great story. She went through all the surgeries.
Great.
She had more surgeries than me. She had breast augmentation and voice feminization
Hmm.
surgery. Thank, Thankfully, I don't need either one of those. I was on the fence about getting voice surgery, but I sound feminine enough. As long as I talk slower and soft, I'm fine. I'm not going to get clocked by my
Right.
voice. And my trach, I don't have a trachea because I got a trach shave when I got my face surgery. So I don't have an Adam's apple or anything there. So
That's what I mine's popped out more lately, so I definitely got to get the straight shade.
yeah, I
Uh,
did when I got my face surgery. I got because I had a goblet under my neck. It's like because I was a little older, so subliminal fat. So it's not just fat on the outside; it's fat under the
mhm.
muscle. So I had all the fat sucked out of there, and then I got the trach shave at the same time. 5 hours of my face surgery was that taking care of that area. I had a 10-hour face surgery. 5 hours was just the working on this because you can't just be super aggressive on that. You got to be careful. You don't want to suck out veins and stuff that you don't want to suck out. But
Mhm.
this is still numb. It's been almost 3 months. This is still numb. It's still swollen a little bit, but it's gone down a lot. And I don't have any. It's freaking flat. I love it. It's so great. I didn't really have much of an Adam's apple anyway, but I wanted it gone. I said, she's like,
Yes.
the surgeon's like, you don't even have much of really anything showing. I want it gone. So she said, okay. So it is gone. It's
My
totally gone.
subs are. You mentioned Jackie, and all my subs are fans of hers.
It's a great channel, and I make comments on her channel too. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Where's Jackie?" And she's like, "I've been doing electrolysis 12 hours a day." I'm like, "I'm too busy to do content. Like, just do a video, just like how you're doing, just one little video. Well, your fans will be so appreciative." She's got 13,000 subs. Do a little something. I
Right.
mean, I'm not going to unsubscribe to that channel. I think it's a great channel, and
No,
I recommend
it was
her
great.
channel. She's featured on my channel on the bottom. So
I'll have to check that out.
yeah, if you look up my channel, it's
Yeah,
on the
I,
bottom
I've
of the featured. Yeah.
yeah, I've always loved her videos. Like I said, she was straightforward, explained everything really well, you know, and
Yep.
I think she was fantastic.
Bad behavior on New Year's. Her bad behavior video. Oh, jeez. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think. I think she still dates women though, but that's all preference. You do whatever you want to
Mhm.
do. It's
There was
just
an there was another lady I used to watch. Um, I can't remember her name. I haven't seen one of her videos in a long time.
there's
What?
a lot. There's a
How old
lot
are
of.
you? How old are you? You still there? You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. I lost my headphones for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, the StreamYard actually muted my mic. It wasn't muted, but StreamYard
Oh,
muted it. So that's fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
I dropped one of my head.
sorry, I'm 47. And I think you asked that question. I think
Yeah.
I think I'm middle aged. Yeah, I think 47 is middle aged. So definitely
Oh,
old.
now you're 37. Hey, Destiny, how are you? Destiny's another sub. Um, she's also on my Snapchat.
Age is just a number. I don't feel 47. So I don't, and I know I don't look 47 either. So especially now, I think I've lost about 5 years of my age just from the face surgery. So I think it's great.
What my
Getting rid of this made me feel
what?
appear a lot more youthful. So because when you get older, you know, unless you're fit your entire life, you're gonna have neck fat, and
Yeah.
you can't exercise and get rid of that. You can't do this. There's no exercise to get rid
Hmm.
of that. You have to have been fit your entire life to not get that. That's the only way. So, and I like to eat. So
Yeah.
who
I
doesn't,
just
right?
started. Exactly. I'm a big foodie. Uh,
I like food.
Destiny, all's good.
I cook as
Now
well.
my sub. Oh, me too. If I didn't become a nurse, I would have been a chef.
Okay.
That would have been my second child. Thank you, Destiny. Now, or Claudia says that she doesn't believe you're 47. She says you look younger.
Well,
Um,
my oldest daughter is 22. So
yeah,
okay. I had kids when I was pretty young when I had kids. I got married way too young, but that's what my dad wanted, so that's what I did. Settled for the first person that wanted to get married and have a family. We put up with each other for 19
uh,
years.
oh,
Thank you for the
Grace
compliment.
says, Grace says her oldest is the same, 22. Uh, my oldest, well, my stepson's like 27, but uh, my daughter is 24, working on her master's degree.
Stuff.
Claudia's asking, what age did you get married at?
I think I was 20 when I got married. I might have been
Yeah,
19 or 20. Yeah.
I waited till age 30.
I only did it because that's what my dad wanted.
Hmm.
But it's okay.
I stayed at home for so long, my parents moved out. I would say that. My dad got a job in Panama, for Sears in Panama. So the house that my parents owned here in the States, I was going to nursing school. So they left me the house and they said, you live there. Every month they would send us, my mom would send a stack of checks and just have me pay the bills with that.
Yep. Yeah, I'm old enough to be around before cell phones were a thing. Like, and when they were
Exactly.
they'd start coming out. There wasn't coverage everywhere. It was a lot of dead spots. When they
They,
flip phones, the
I,
Motorola flip
re-
phones came out.
mhm. I had actually a car mounted phone was my first one.
You got a couple
Oh,
years.
Grace is asking, are those sleeves or is it a colorful t-shirt? Is it a
It's a
t-shirt that
sleeves.
you have underneath?
It's a Punky Brewster
Uh,
T-shirt. It's all one thing. I was gonna wear
oh,
something
okay.
a little. I was gonna wear a pink dress, and I was gonna have cleavage out, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't care.
I
I could have, but I didn't do it.
um,
I have no makeup on. No, there's no
oh,
glamour filters, no bold filter, nothing. No earrings in. This is just 2 hairpins and no makeup. That's it. So
everybody's saying it's cute. You know,
thank
it's funny because you're mentioning the 80s, right? Or 90s around there.
you.
I
80s, yeah.
actually have, right around over here, I actually have an elf doll from the 90s. It's an original.
I have some signed Mike Tyson stuff. I still have some memorabilia on my wall, but you can't see it because the camera's down a little bit. But it's over here, right there. Some Mike Tyson stuff. There's Mike Tyson pictures and things like that. But my background is, let's see, I got all these posters up on the wall. But I keep them down because I've been doing video interviews for jobs, so I have it down because I don't need people to see that LGBTQ flag and all that because that's not appropriate for a job interview. So just back down, something like that. I guess it's
They're saying we're putting up the 80s vibe here, Generation X.
okay. There
They're
I'm
asking, what's your skincare routine?
me. I
Yeah.
use let's see. I use Paul Mitchell knockoff Paul Mitchell brand tea tree oil and lavender face wash, and I use oil of Olay to moisturize my face. That's it. And I didn't start moisturizing my face until last year, so I got very lucky and not moisturizing during moisturization routine. So, but that's all
Right.
and I've been using Mederma because I had face feminization surgery recently, so I have some scarring. Like you can't see because my hair is blocking it, but I put that on there and I put it on behind my ears, so that's some scarring behind my ears, and I kind of have this it's like a hook shape on the side, and then some spots behind my ears that were part of the surgery, like pulling things and moving things around and stuff. The hairline, I don't know how she got it that where it's at. It just blows my mind. That the hairline is just so much
Right.
lower. Like, and I think it has something to do with that hook, and they relocated the skin or something. I don't know because I don't have
Right.
the like I can't like um wiggle my eyebrows up and down like I used to because some of that give is gone because they moved things forward. So that elasticity in the face is not as much as it was.
Right.
And I got a scar here under my neck as well because they sucked all the fat out of there and the trach shave as well. So there's a little scar about that long, but I've been putting Mederma on all these spots. And here, my nose, I had a nose job, and the little spots on the edge, I've been putting Mederma on. But the problem with Mederma is it flakes off like during the day. So like when I was at work, I'd have to wear bandanas to like keep it contained. So it doesn't look like have dandruff blowing up everywhere, and it's not. It's just dry Mederma. It's not dandruff.
Right.
But I've been very fortunate as far as like even before the surgery, like still having a youthful appearance and just not having the best diet in the world. And I know what I should be eating, and I don't always eat that. I like sweets sometimes. Every couple weeks, I'll get a craving for something, and I'll have like a couple pieces of pie or something, and then I'm good for a couple weeks.
Right.
Because sugar is the root of all evil, as far as your health and like how you look and age and all that.
I was just talking last week with and I put it on my channel. I'm going to start probably on Wegovy. I still haven't heard from from the pharmacy, but I went and spoke with a pharmacologist, and they kind of do what's called like a whole health visit, and they ask you not just what medication you would like to go on as far as these GLP-1s, that they call them now. But he goes, okay, what is it? What are your habits? This is my worst habit. Is my Mountain Dew. And
Switch it up
he
to
goes,
flavored water.
so he goes with me, and he goes, how much do you drink? I'm like, I drink 220 ounces a day. He's all, okay. He goes, switch it to 12s, to 2 12s a day to start off with. Then go to 2 8s, the little cans. He's all, that's what we want to do. So you want 120 to 150 minutes of exercise per week. He's all, and kind of developed a plan. And he says that these medications, new ones like Wegovy, Ozempic, stuff like that, basically it's like a hormone that goes to your brain and like it's like an appetite suppressant. But it's worked with diabetics first, and then people saw the weight loss. And that's why they became so popular, had to go back into research and be reapproved. And that's what happens with medications. I used to work pharmaceutical research. So
we all know the best diet pill is speed, but you have all this energy, you got to do something.
Right.
I used to drink soda and stuff all the time. I would drink like 2 2-liter Diet Dr. Peppers a day. Plus, I drink more when I got home, and I drink a pot of coffee as well. I used to do that. I don't drink soda anymore. I drink one of these flavored waters a day, which is still not the greatest. It's still aspartame, but it's better than soda because it's clear. It's better than sodas. And I had actually years ago saccharine poisoning. I was getting sick all the time and throwing up every day, and I had saccharine poisoning. So I had to stop drinking coffee and soda and stuff for like 6 months, and that all went away.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one by Ryuki. What is your favorite exercise?
Squats.
Squats.
Because I can do. I haven't done them since my surgery. I think I'll start at 315. Because I had surgery, major surgery, so I had to like not do heavy lifting and stuff. But I could squat 460 for reps, and I weigh 177.
Oh wow!
So that's
awesome.
Most women can't do that at my weight. I think that might even be a record level. That might even be a world record. But I'm not. I wasn't born a girl, so that's not gonna. They're not gonna. I would never try to take women's records from women. I would never do that. So there needs to be a transgender category for weightlifting and powerlifting and stuff, because I call BS on like, when they say, oh, the hormone levels are in check. It doesn't matter. If you were born a guy, you were born male and you went through male puberty. Even if you had puberty suppressed, you were still born as a man or a male. You have an advantage over women, regardless, in any strength or speed or strength activities. So, and I believe there should just be a trans bracket, just like anything else. Like, for example, the best example I could give would be like, let's say you have a V8 Corvette and a V6 Corvette. And then you say like, well, the V8 Corvette is running on the same 87 fuel the V6 Corvette is, so it's in check. So it's the same, right? It's fair. It's not, because it's still a V8, even with this crappy gas in it. It's still a V8. So you still have that little extra, 2 extra cylinders. That's the best comparison I can give between trans and just a woman that's born a woman. Even powerlifters and real strong women, trans women are gonna beat them. So
let's see. I've got my viewers here giving their favorite exercise. Ab workouts, then do 30 minutes cardio.
Woo, ab workouts.
I've got, so Ryuki is stating she likes yoga. Oh, and here's a statement by Trace. She says, testosterone doesn't magically impart physical powers. It's super endogenous levels of testosterone that do. Ryuki, I think yoga is a fabulous thing. Uh, Keeps you in balance. It's a big thing what we teach the vets in home health.
On that one comment that was made about the androgynous stuff, you ever heard of the
Yeah.
Captains of Crush, the grippers that you close? Captains of Crush, COC. You know what I'm talking about? They're hand grippers that you close, and there's certifications
Oh
on
yeah,
them.
the ones that
Yeah.
yeah.
So Captains of Crush, there's a ironmind.com is the website that sells these
Hmm.
grippers. So there's different
Hmm.
levels. There's like a 1, a 2, a 1.5, but their certifications are on for
Hmm.
women. They start at 2. So the number 2, which is 195, 195 pounds. And I'm able to close
Hmm.
and hold that. And there's only 2 women that ever have just closed it, not holding it, just closing it. And there was
Hmm.
one woman that did like she held. It's called the silver bullet. You have it closed, and you put this little bullet
Hmm.
in the between the handles, and you have to hold it out as long as you can. And she did it for like
Hmm.
58 seconds. I was trying to compete for that and beat her on that record because I was pretty
Hmm.
confident I could do that. And I reached out to Iron Mind and I said, "Hey, I'm transgender, and I'm legally female and all that stuff. But is it possible that I can compete in the women's bracket to get the 2?" And they said, "No, we're
Hmm.
absolutely not." And I'm like, I respect that. I respect that because it's not fair to the women
Right.
because they're like, well, you were born a male, so you have to compete against the men. And
Hmm.
to even get on the men's bracket, you have to close a 3, which is 260 pounds. And
Oh wow.
my T levels are 3, so I mean that's
Hmm.
irrelevant. I'm not. There's no way I'm gonna be able to close a 3 without like a year of training. I can close a 2 with barely any training because I have pretty good grip
Hmm.
strength. But I mean, it's just one of those things. But it's just a thing in my past that I recall. I'm like, oh yeah, they wouldn't let me compete because I'm trans. Did I try to sue them? No, I did not because they wouldn't let me compete. It's just they believe
Right.
in they believe in fairness, and I that's fine. I respect that.
Yeah, and I would probably be the same way with a triathlon because I still want to do an Ironman. And you wear there's a special triathlon swimsuit that you wear, which is kind of like uh, it looks like a wetsuit, so it'll cover everything. So I mean, I could go in the male because I that's what I would do to be fair. Because it's swim, bike, run, so that there's some strength obviously to the legs and all that.
It dissipates as you've been on HRT longer. Once you're off
Mm-hmm.
Spyro, yeah, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
drastically drop. You're going to lose a lot. You're going to lose probably 20% of your strength, which is normal. Even if you keep going, you're still going to be 20% weaker.
Mm-hmm.
About that, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine.
Right, right. See, have you tried Pilates? Someone's asking. Claudia is the one that keeps. She said,
I have
"I've
not.
never tried Pilates."
I just do
And
walking
then
and weights.
and how about Tai
Nope.
Chi is another one that they're asking. Nope, I haven't tried
No,
Tai
I was in
Chi.
Taekwondo for like 4 years. Useless martial arts, pretty much. Because the basics is all you need. You don't need to have all these fancy kicks and stuff. That's not going to save you in a street fight.
Right.
So, basic stuff. MMA is probably better if you're going to
Mhm.
study a fighting style. MMA style is
Right.
probably the best.
Hmm. Me, and my obviously, my first three would probably be my strongest sport would be swimming, and then the biking. Now in triathlon, my run, that's when people start passing me up. My swim, I'll do great. I'll do great on the biking portion, and then all of a sudden, everybody starts passing me up. My first triathlon was a sprint, which is a quarter-mile swim, 12-mile bike ride, and a 5K. And I remember they put your number on your leg, and like mine was number 3. Underneath that, they put your age. So I'm sitting there running my 5K, and I was 49 when I did the first one, And I'm sitting there running, and now I see this guy with the underneath, and you can see their age. He's like 75, and he's running past me, and he started seeing all these older people just run by. I was like, no, but I figured it'd be that.
That's
'Cause
okay. You can.
running just gets. Hmm.
That 75-year-old is just more conditioned for that task than
Yeah,
you. That's all. That's all.
yeah. That's always been. I run like a fish out of water, as someone told me at one time. I'm like, oh, that's true. I'm a swimmer.
I walk. I can't run. I have induced asthma, and as soon as I get the rhythm up, and then I have wheezing, and I can't do that. So I used to be a runner and up until 11th grade in high school, and then I got this
Hmm.
induced asthma. I had an inhaler, and it still wasn't really a solution. So I just didn't run anymore. I'm like, well, I just won't run. And I can't bike ride like really. I can't do like heavy obstacle courses because it'll get me too winded, and
Hmm.
then I start wheezing, and I need an inhaler, and yeah. So those days are done. I don't do any of that anymore. I just walk and mostly just squats. I do have dumbbells here on the floor that I use. They're actually behind my chair right there.
Hmm.
Gloves. They're only 22 pounds, but it's enough to
Hmm.
get things going.
This is my other one. It's my archery. I love archery, but the arrows are symbolist. Yeah, a symbol also, and I always post it on my. I say it on my videos. It's like life, it can pull you back slowly. Because when you're pulling on that bow, it's really hard to pull back. And all of a sudden you feel this, oh, there, I'm at that point, and then you let go of that arrow, and it just flies forward that much faster. That's how life can be, It can pull you back slowly, but when you start moving forward, you go much stronger.
Yeah, life's a very interesting journey. You can have
Hmm.
some really horrible times and some really great times. Learn and grow with
Hmm.
every opportunity, whether it's a bad time or a good time. So, and there's a saying like
Yeah.
strong men or come from bad times or something like that. I don't know, some kind of saying around that topic. I don't know. Because if you've always had good times and you never struggled, then you would never know. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Hmm.
and I know there's some people that maybe they're gone their whole life and they just silver spoon in their mouth and never actually had to work in their life and they just got everything they wanted. It must be nice. It's not me, but I mean, I sort of feel that way with the last couple surgeries that I had because of my mom. She paid for them, so out of her money for a
Right.
house she sold a few years back. So it's just wow. It would have taken me 10 or
Right.
15 more years to even get to the point I am now. So I'm very grateful for that. So the only thing I can really redo to pay my mom back
Right.
is to help her in her older age, in her 80s and 90s. Get her,
Right.
take her to her doctor's appointments, do her shopping for her, and keep her active. So she retired out
Right.
here in the Fernley area, and like I said, she's near my sister, but she doesn't really see her that much. She sees me a lot more than my sister, and I don't have a relationship with
Hmm.
my sister because my ex-wife did not like her and didn't like her mouth, so
Hmm.
she didn't want her around the kids. So I told her to f off, and she never let that go. This has been more than 20 years ago. She still didn't let it go, so
Right.
we haven't been talking since. So I'm like, well, when
Oh, wow.
mom passes away, you're gonna have to talk to me eventually because I'm the executor of her will in the state.
True.
You're gonna have to talk to me, or
Hmm.
your lawyer is gonna have to talk to me. So, but if she doesn't want to make amends on that, then I'm like, well, I decide what happens to the estate. Then you have no say. So, but I want
Right.
to be fair, but it's I really don't care about what the stuff my mom has and all that stuff. I actually want if I do end up moving back to Huntsville, Alabama, I will have a room and bathroom for my mom, whatever place I do end up getting. So it'll be a house, no
Right.
HOA,
Yeah.
no lot rent, and I'll have a spot for her. I'm like, hey, you can have your second home can be here. If you want to sell yours and move here, that would be fine. I'd like that, but you got a spot here. So and that's what I'll do. I don't want to put her in a home or anything like that, like a nursing home. I don't want to do that to her.
Right.
But that's all I can do.
Are you? Okay, are you asking about the picture? Because he's asking that double arrow hit. If I did you get that double arrow hit? If you're talking about the picture to this video, yes, those two water bottles, I hit them with one shot. It would be like when you take a rifle and do a Cold War shot. It was my Cold War arrow. It was just like take it out of the and put and did the shot.
Two
But
executions
I've
with
never
one
hit a
bullet.
Robin Hood. Yeah, but I've never hit a Robin Hood. No Robin Hoods yet. Not there will be another tattoo right there.
Or you mean Robin Hood, like
Robin Hood's when
splitting
you
an arrow,
actually,
like splitting an arrow with an arrow on the
yeah.
center dot? Okay.
Mhm. My grandfather, there's two sitting at my mom's house that were my grandfather's. And I need to, if I can, no, not yet, Ryuki. I do have to go get my grandfather's shipped to me here or drive down there and get them because there's two of his sitting in my mom's garage. So he was an archer. That's where I got my inspiration from.
Nice.
And he would do longbow, but eventually he switched to compound like myself. Um, because it was just easier on him to pull when with the compound. The longbow is a 1-to-1. I want to learn though. I would love a Saracen bow and learn how to shoot. Like there's a guy on the here on YouTube, and his name's Lars Anderson, and he puts an arrow between each finger, and then he'll launch one, put the other, and then the other. So he does like a rapid fire launch, and that's how true archery was invented for war back in the Crusades. It was like have three arrows in your hand, boom, boom, boom.
Wow. Now we just
Yeah,
push buttons and nuclear stuff happens.
I know.
No.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Drace, definitely look up Lars Anderson, and it's Anderson ends with an en. He really explains it all about archery,
He was on Mythbusters too. He was on an episode of Mythbusters. They were shooting a
and
bunch of
he did.
apples and stuff.
Mhm. Oh yeah, this guy's fantastic. He'll jump, like run up a wall, launch an arrow, and he's just like it's amazing what he does. He did the choreography for the newest Robin Hood movie with Taron Egerton and Jamie Foxx. He did that choreography. It, but it's really, he does excellent archery.
Do you have a favorite artist, Jules? Like singers?
Uh, see, I'm so stuck in the '80s. '80s music was always my favorite. If I think back then, the thing I always focused on was a lot like Push. It would Depeche Mode would probably be my favorite artist as far as music.
So
They had a lot of good songs.
you get along with Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite then pretty well. Back in '83, I could
Yeah.
throw a pigskin a quarter mile. Ah, you've seen the movie, right? Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie
Yeah.
like
Now.
it's a movie about nothing. It's absolutely hilarious. Everything speaks '80s except for the satellite dish. Everything in that movie is 1980s
Exactly.
except for that and his high school picture, his high school ID. That and the internet joke. I've been chatting on online with babes all day. Other than that, everything is 1980s
Mhm.
retro. So
Right.
for me,
Exactly.
Lady Gaga and Cher are my two favorite singers.
Yeah. Lady Gaga's good. I will give her that.
Yeah, and Cher.
What
Cher
are,
is
what What are your thoughts on 16 Candles? Great movie. Definitely great movie from the
that was a
80s.
while ago.
Hmm.
It's been
Yeah, the other day we got into talk about different movies that we all like, movies and TV shows. That was a good conversation because all the different stuff that came up.
there's so many different ones too, like Webster, The Fall Guy, Dukes and Hazard. There's so many
Yeah.
that you can just throw out. You can talk about it for a while. That could be a I remember when this was years ago when I was with my ex-wife. I think did we have kids yet? I think we were in the I don't know. It was a conversation before we were going to sleep when we were talking about movies from the 80s, like TV shows like Webster,
Hmm.
Strokes, etc. So we kept naming until one of us couldn't name
Yeah.
one again. That was like an hour-long conversation. There's so many of them, like
Oh,
Silver
yeah.
Spoon. It's like
Yeah.
there's
Silver
so
Spoons. You had Fall Guy, and then the funny thing is how they're going back and remaking them, or they make a movie out of them, like
yeah.
Chips.
Yep, yep.
I was like,
Chips.
I thought that was the movie was funny. I think they made it more of a comedy as opposed to show. Wasn't so much of a comedy. That's why I don't like that they do sometimes.
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island, yeah,
Fame.
and they've
The Fame.
redone the TV show. Hmm.
Gilligan's
Hmm.
Island bores me. Gilligan's Island. Ugh.
I
But I think that
actually
was
met the
MASH.
professor Marianne. Now, the professor Marianne and Gilligan, I met them in person at the same time, all three of them. I
Wow.
used to work at SeaWorld. Yeah, I used to work at SeaWorld, and we were doing the grand opening to it used to be called Mission Bermuda Triangle, and now it's the polar bear exhibit. But uh, it was a ride simulation to the Bermuda Triangle, and you would get stranded. So they brought them in for the you know for the premiere, and it was really cool because you saw them, after so many years of watching them, and what they did is bring in employees because they were doing the premiere on TV. So they needed people to fill in, like extras.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I got to meet Muhammad Ali there too. He was he we that was the year he lit the Olympic torch, what, 96 at the Atlanta Games, and we were the theme park sponsor. And he came in to the Shambu Stadium, got a standing ovation. Then he went to the employee lounge, sat there, and people could take pictures with him.
That's
That was
awesome.
cool.
That's awesome. I met some
Hmm.
celebrities when I was younger.
Hmm.
Mike Tyson, he signed boxing gloves for me, so I met him. I met Hulk Hogan at Gold's Gym in Santa Monica.
Oh wow.
I met Hulk Hogan. That was so cool. And then, well, it's not his real name, but I knew him as Hulk Hogan because he was a wrestler, But and then Arnold Schwarzenegger
Hmm.
and Lou Ferrigno. I met him as well.
Oh,
And
he'd
this
be cool.
is
Yeah.
Gold's Gym in
Hulk.
Santa Monica. We used to work out over there.
Yeah,
Oddly, my parents worked out
that's
over
cool.
there. So that's where we were, and they were there. They're like, and as a kid, you want to go meet them. Hey,
Hmm.
so and they were cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go to the house of James Brooks, which he's one of the creators of The Simpsons. I used to date a girl from Beverly Hills. I'm getting a bunch of 80s movies listed here in my comments now.
Oh
I've
boy,
got Top Gun, Mad World, Goonies, bunch of
the
got
mask,
I'm getting
the mask. Hey,
Home Alone, Home Alone. Hey, if we're gonna talk Christmas movies, you got Home Alone, you got Die Hard. You can't go through Christmas without watching Die Hard.
the day after tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
Day
think that
After
was the
Tomorrow. Oh, it's just you mean the one about the nuclear?
yes. Wasn't
A
that
made for TV
89?
movie. It was, yeah, that was the day after. They didn't call it. It was just the day after. That was a pretty scary movie though, when you watch it back in
Yeah.
the 80s.
Gremlins.
Uh, Gremlins. I just got a Christmas Vacation. You got the whole Vacation series there. Uh, someone named Real Genius earlier. Of course, you got the Back to the Future series. Then best movie of all time. It was in the 80s. The Empire Strikes Back.
Hmm.
In 84. I can tell you where I saw it for the first time. It was
Rambo 1 in the
midnight
drive-in
opening.
theater. I saw, I think it was Rambo 1 or
I,
2 in the drive-in. I saw that one as a kid.
hmm
That was awesome. We all went to this van and we went over there and watched it in the drive-in. So cool.
That's cool.
Little box in the
Drive-ins are
window.
cool. I don't know why they've done away with them.
So you can make more money on tickets and
You know?
concessions inside a building.
Right.
Yeah, you can't sneak
Ooh,
in.
Ryuki brought up a good one. She says the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Gremlin or
That's a good one.
Fraggle Rock on HBO. Let's go
Oh yeah. Freckles
down the Fraggle Rock. Boop, boop.
Rock.
Remember that?
Oh, Squad
Rocky,
51, Emergency.
the 18.
That was my favorite. The 18. Dun, 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 dun.
Love it when a plan comes together.
Uh, you beat me to it. I was about to say that. One time at work, there at the VA, we had just had a meeting and we were talking about like what teams we worked at, and I'm like, so I typed in for a GIF, and I did the A team, and you could see the logo coming on with all these bullet holes, and all of a sudden the A team van drove up. My RN looks over at me, and she's like, "What did you just do?" I'm just having fun, you know.
Mm.
So Lester, Magnum PI, Running Man, Knight Rider, Twins. These are just all from the stream.
My ex-wife's
Knight Rider
grandma.
was one.
I'm sorry. My ex-wife's grandma was in love with
Mm-hmm.
Magnum PI's mustache. I forget his name, but
Mm-hmm.
the actor. She loved his mustache.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
She loved his mustache so much.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of nice
You
though.
know, he was a big ball. He's big into volleyball. I think he helped coach Olympic volleyball teams. Mm. Not- Now, David Hasselhoff, I saw in person a couple of times. Once was at Disneyland when he started his singing career, and they brought in the kit car. The second time I saw him, they filmed the Baywatch when I worked at SeaWorld.
He's got a pretty hairy chest.
Yeah.
That's all I remember about David. I mean, I don't really care for a lot of body, like a lot of chest hair, but I like a beard on a guy. Beard and mustache. I love that. Especially the beard. Mustache, you don't have to have one. I like a beard on a guy. Oh, love that. Love a face hair on a guy. Not on me, though. I don't want it on me, but I like a face hair on a man. I love that. And there's a little gray mixed in there with it, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Woo! That was great.
Salt and pepper.
I don't mind that.
Wow, time's flying today. We're already at 2 hours. Great live stream. Started off slow, but as we start getting my subs in here, they're they're still going on these TV shows.
Yeah, that can go on for a while for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, you have the soap
Well,
operas, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital. You have those. Still, I think they still are doing
yeah.
episodes of those, aren't they? Uh,
Oh, yeah. But then they always change the themes. Like General Hospital was you know, the spy theme for a while and all that. Wow, I've got double D's and I get tension. Is that a that a movie quote there, Rayuki? Let's see what else. Random. Oh, random question. If I have thinning hair, crown and fronts, minor though, is there a chance it will come back with HRT? Manoj, uh, it what helps, and I know I've done it, but it's individual results. Is I have um, used finasteride and minoxidil, and finasteride blocks the dihydrotestosterone that causes hair loss, and minoxidil helps reactivate the hair follicle, but it's not guaranteed. You know, I've had very good luck with it. Over the past 2 years, I used to have a bald spot that big, now it's that big. So let's see.
For me, for in my case, HRT made it so my hair didn't continue to thin. It didn't, like the balding or
Mm-hmm.
male pattern baldness stuff didn't continue once I
Mm-hmm.
started HRT. That stopped. So I didn't lose any more hair or have any additional thinning. But right now, it's my look is because of FFS. So they pulled my hairline forward.
Right.
There is that hair
Yeah.
club for men that they can regrow hair and stuff. There is those treatments. It's very expensive to do though. I don't know how successful it is. I looked into that too. I'm like, whoa,
Well,
I don't have 20 grand to drop on my hair. So
oh, you're talking like the hair club for men type of
yeah,
thing, or
yeah. I mean,
uh,
supposedly it works, but it's very expensive, and it's case by case, and it
well,
may or may not work for you.
mhm. Like Manoj uh, is asking hims or hers. So it all depends. If you're male to female, do the hims because the percentage of minoxidil will be a higher. You get a 5%
Yeah.
um, dose. And if you're female to male, it's always a 1% dose. And then finasteride, they usually give you the 1 milligram. Well, to me, they gave it oral form, and I asked my primary care doctor for it. And of all things, my primary care doctor was my neighbor for a while. He was also a triathlete like me. He was also on the same disaster response team like me. So he gave me the 5 milligram finasteride.
I remember the Minosh from the other stream the other day,
Hmm.
and
He's one of my
I mentioned
he's one of my
think I
mom's.
saw him somewhere. I think I saw him somewhere.
Hmm.
I'm just curious if he was in the Czech Republic in 2013 at any time. I'm just curious if in Prague area, because that's
Oh,
kind of
that's
where I
cool.
think
That's
I
what
may
we're
have
here
seen.
for.
That's why I think I saw him. If that picture is him on his profile, because I was there in 2013 for about 3 weeks. So that I love the Dancing House Cafe. That building is so freaking awesome, man. Especially at night.
Hmm.
It's a building that's kind of curved, and there's a coffee shop on top.
Hmm.
You can see the city and lights and stuff at night. It's so nice, so nice. But that's where I think I saw him.
Oh,
If
here's
that
the
was him.
response. It says, I wasn't, and that's not me.
All right.
That's my friend Sam.
Hmm.
Uh, that's so interesting. I'll ask Sam if he was in the Czech.
Yeah, 2013 is when I was there.
that is that would be strange. When I was working in Florida as a road medic, I met another medic, and he had been in the Navy, and he was stationed in San Diego, and we used to hang out at the same club. So it's kind of funny that we probably met up one day in San Diego. It's funny
Yeah,
how you know people.
it
Hey,
isn't.
Sean, how are you? So we're starting to get some more people in here. I think um, like some people leave, some people come. Um, let's see, I hear great things about Czech, Prague, very cheap, and high
It's a safe place.
OOL.
It's a very safe area,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
you can live on 2,000 a month. That's rent, food, all your bills. 2,000. You cannot do
Oh
that in the
wow,
U.S. at all,
that would be one of my paychecks. The other paycheck would be to have fun.
right?
You
That's
know?
well, my paychecks are more than that. Depends on what you're used to making too. Like I've been I've been at highs and lows. Like sometimes you just have to settle and take a job that
Hmm.
just to do something because you get bills are going to
Right.
still be paid no matter what you're doing. You got to pay
Well,
them.
and see it. Hmm. With me, that's what I like about nursing. Pays pretty even, whatever you do, but you can do 10 different specialties if you wanted to. I used to be an ER nurse. That was fun, you know, but now I'm a primary care nurse. I like that, especially for veterans. I really enjoy that because, it's a different population that you can really appreciate, you know, because of what they've done. Although sometimes they ask for everything, but, they deserve a lot.
Yep. I know with just civilian jobs versus like DOD or DOJ, those type of work, or
Mhm.
like the city and state jobs. It seems like I don't know the pay rate on that type of work is about 40 to 60% higher than a civilian version of the same job. So you make so much more money, and the benefits are so much better if you can get into that. So not everyone has the
Yeah.
opportunity to work for the government or the state or whatever. And I've had the I've had the luxury of being able to do that, and hoping I can use my secret clearance to go somewhere else. I have it still, so even though I'm not working where I was, it's still good for 2 calendar years or less. So you got to make use of it, or it's gone. So I'm trying
Right.
to make use of it because I could make quite a bit more money somewhere else. But I have a hit for the
Hmm.
DOJ in Huntsville, Alabama, Department of Justice over there. That would be a great job.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So I have an
Yeah.
interview
See, I was gonna go
Thursday.
if I would have done the Las Cruces job, um, on at the missile range there. That would have been DOD. I would have gone from VA to DOD. So, and it
Yeah.
was nursing on the base there at the missile range. Actually, the missile range where they did the first atomic bomb. So,
Yeah.
and probably would have lived in Truth or Consequence. So, bless you.
It's good stuff. But I have not made the money that I made when I was a man before, though. So unfortunately, I have not gotten back where I've been at the high of being a guy before. So it's okay.
Are you able to read the questions now? Are you on the screen, or someone just asked, what's the LGBTQ uh, scene like in Reno?
There's a couple spots for it. I mean, there's the Five Star Saloon. They have their drag shows and stuff. There's a community over there. They do their Pride Parade here in Reno as well. They do that.
Hmm.
I'm getting more involved in that stuff, but I don't know if I'm going to stay in this area or not. Depends on the job market. So,
Right.
but I've been physically assaulted. It may have been targeting or the wrong place at the wrong time. But yeah, it was clear I was trans and I wasn't passing at the time. I was coming back from the Lux nightclub at GSR in Reno, and I got
Hmm.
jumped by two guys. And then another time, I was coming back from Five Star Saloon, and another beating again. So it's like, just leave people alone. Just leave me alone. Just let me be. But so that kind of like
But
got me out of going out as much because I was just fearful of it happening a third time, and I don't want to go through that again. So I just
yeah, I mean, the thing about here, we can carry now. New Mexico's open carry. You can open carry. I've got when I go hiking, I do. But I wouldn't do it to the store because what if you get someone run up and take your gun? You know,
yeah.
I wouldn't want that. Mhm.
I opened carry when I lived in Alaska because of moose and stuff, but
Mhm.
not since being down in the lower 48. I don't. There's no need to have a gun, really.
I I do it hiking here in the mountains behind my house because there's bears, mountain lions,
That makes sense.
and
That makes sense.
coyotes.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
Here in the
So
city, I don't have to worry
yeah,
about that.
yeah. Um, I hear
But yeah,
bikinis have a history. Someone's saying that Drace says, I hear bikinis have a history intertwined with nuclear bomb tests.
hmm.
Mhm.
There's a lot of companies in this area that claim that they're LGBTQ friendly, inclusive, and diverse,
Right.
but that's really not the case. Um, I can say this because I didn't sign an NDA or anything, and it happened in 2019. I used to be a
Hmm.
subcontractor for Tesla and Panasonic.
Hmm.
Both I was on both sides as a contractor. In 2019, I
Hmm.
worked there about 4 months, and there was I was being bullied and stuff on by some of the Tesla employees. So I went to HR to complain. I put up with it for a while, and I'm like, I got tired of it. So I went to HR to complain, and I was terminated the very next day.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, okay, wow.
That's horrible.
Okay. And then it's funny because my manager was actually transgender as well. So
Oh wow.
her name was
That would
Kelly.
be
But
horrible.
no, she was transgender too, but she was an employee though. She had a little more
Hmm.
immunity because she had worked there. She was an employee. She wasn't a contractor. So, but that they claim to be LGBTQ and friendly and inclusive and all that. They're
Hmm.
not. They're not. And then GSR is they claim that they are too, but the I went there for an interview. It was a 3-person interview. I was there, and there was 3 other people, like a team lead, a manager, and then the director. And the director's body language told me everything I needed to know that I wasn't getting the job.
Hmm.
He was, like when you're near someone that's sick and you can catch it, like let's say the plague as an
Right.
example, you can catch it just by breathing that
Hmm.
air. He was like standoffish and getting for as far away as possible from me, like he was going to
Hmm.
catch being transgender or something. I'm like, I knew for the body language I wasn't getting that job. I'm like, that's the kind of people that you deal with, in that
Right.
scenario.
Right.
I wasn't passing or anything, so at that point, so it was really hard. I had a spell of no work for like 11 months because there was jobs, but not a lot of jobs. But no, I was very bluntly open on my cover letter that I was transgender. I think that's a mistake. That was one of the mistakes I made. You don't disclose any of that personal stuff on your cover letter. So I don't have that on my cover letter at this point because I don't identify as being transgender anyways. So
Right.
that recently just changed too because I was until I realized that I pass. So I don't But if a guy wants to date me or is interested in me romantically, I'm going to tell him right up front, like, hey, I was born a boy. I transitioned into a girl. I'm no longer in transition, just for my safety. Because some men, they had a couple drinks and they go back to a hotel room with you, have a little fun, and and you don't tell them, and they don't realize it, and then they're really upset with it, and they kill you. That happens, or they hurt you, assault you, or whatever. So you gotta tell guys right up front, like, hey, just so you know, if you have a problem with that, walk away. So because if you go to a bar and stuff, you don't know what the guys are looking for, especially if it's not a gay bar. Yeah, because there's some bars in the casinos here, but a lot of guys go there just to drink and watch the games and stuff. And it's so easy just to go up and talk to them. It's not a big deal, but they might not be interested in somebody like me. Like, so that's the thing. And I have certain personal preferences that if these preferences aren't there, I'm not interested in you at all. So I don't chase. They got to chase me because they got to know my preference. So this Tammy dating app that I use, my preferences are clearly listed on my profile. So if they're inquiring, I hope they read my profile. Most guys don't. They just go by the pictures and then swipe right or whatever.
Okay, so I've got a few questions here.
Yeah.
Someone's asked, or Drace is asking, what is your career path? And then I've also got, someone's asking your current job. And then the last question goes, why do some people identify as trans women and others as women after they transition? So
okay, I'm going to start with the last question first, and then I'll do the career things second. So the term transgender means in transition. Okay, so a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand the word transgender means you're in transition. So whatever your path is, if you want to get GRS, FFS, whatever, and once you're done and you're no longer transitioning, you're not transgender anymore. You're just a woman. So, and that's my perception on it. So that's why I just identify as a woman. I don't identify as transgender anymore because I've already done the surgeries. I passed. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So that is my perception on it. Other people may not agree with that. They may say transgender is who you are. To me, transgender means you're in transition. So hopefully that makes sense. What do you think, Jules, on that?
I definitely, it makes lots of sense because I really liked this question because I had never really thought about it. I think a lot of people would always really question me on what's the difference between gender and sex, but I had never been asked this question in the past. But I think that was an excellent answer.
Okay. As far as the work, I had a government job here in Sparks, and I can't say directly like why I don't work there because I had to sign an NDA and I got a severance. But there's two people that work there that anytime I would enter the room or get near them, they would just evacuate like I had cooties or something. So they didn't like me as a person. They were like, disgusted to be around me kind of thing. That type of demeanor around these two people. And those two people went to HR and complained that they're uncomfortable around me and they can't work with me. So, and they figured out a way to cleverly get me out of there. So I no longer work there because two people were assholes basically. So, but I can't say the exact because I signed an NDA. So, but that is what I saw had happened, and it is what it is. So, and I have a fresh start somewhere else. And no one's going to know that what I was before, had surgeries and all that, because that was a thing at that job. People knew what I was doing. Anywhere else I go, no one's going to know. So, and like I'm anonymous on YouTube. I mean, my name's here, but my legal name's not on my YouTube channel anymore. So I took that all down because I don't want to have someone type my name in Google and be like, oh, hey, because I don't want that to be a thing. And my career path actually is I'm trying to get in anything in DOD, DOJ, Department of Justice. I took an exam. See, I can't discuss this because I can't let people know what I'm doing. So if you look on I can give you a hint. Look at my channel. One of my featured channels is one of the 3-letter entities. Let's just say there's exams on that. And there's a 4-part exam, and I passed that. And it's just if I can get placement. I don't know. But I'm trying to stay in DoD for the government because it's better pay and you get a pension. But
Right.
if I have to take a
Well,
civilian job, I will. So, and if, it just depends on what's available here. And some my feelers are out in Huntsville because I'm not going to be able to buy a house and actually really retire
mhm,
in Sparks, Reno, because it's just not possible. So my mom's going to kind of be like
right.
about that, but I'm like, you'll have a room and bathroom at my place. You know, half the place is yours. Um, so and Alabama area is fine too. It's a great area to be. People are social and friendly, and there's plentiful jobs there. That's the thing, and the government jobs plentiful there
Right.
because the Redstone Arsenal is there, and there's a lot of different subcontractors and contractors there. So, but
Hmm.
before that, I mean, I've had IT director level roles and things like that as a man, but I've never been able to get
Hmm.
back up to that level. And I've been a senior analyst. I used to be a programmer for an insurance company. I did, and I was going to get into the web DBA team. This was back in 2003, four. This was a while ago, but I was making over 130K a year there. That was good money in 2003.
Right.
That was great money, great
Hmm.
money. But
Yeah.
I mean, right out of high school, I was making 70,000 a year in
Oh
1996.
wow.
So, but I'm used to making decent money. But then once I did the transition stuff, then I had to settle and just take what I could get. So I went back down like a
Right.
lot. I was like, oh my gosh. Then I got this government job, and then they decided to get rid of me because two people are uncomfortable. I'm like, that sucks. Excuse me.
People are ridiculous.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
was a great job too, and everyone was really chill there, and it just yeah, they got me on a technicality. They got me on something that actually wasn't what was going on, but I can't actually say, so I don't want to get in trouble. Since I
Right.
signed an NDA, I'm not going to say anything else. So on
Hmm.
that aspect. So,
Let's
but
see. I
pretty
got
much.
a,
Go ahead, Jules.
oh, Dre stated a very good comment here. She says, trans and cis are just adjectives. I mean, they are just adjectives, but a woman is a woman no matter how they started out. I think that's a very well stated comment.
Yeah, well, yeah. As long as if you're done, if you're in transition, you're still transgender. Once you're done, then you're no longer transgender. So you're just a girl. So you know, very thankful that I'm at I pass now with the face surgery because some people have gotten face surgery and they still don't pass. So I feel very
Right.
sad for someone like that had that. They spent all this money for face surgery and they don't pass. I feel oh, that's just got to be heartbreaking. And I know of I know of a couple trans people on YouTube that they don't pass, and like, and they spent all the money on the surgery. One got it on Medicaid, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. That was a freebie anyway, so I don't feel bad for that because it was a free surgery.
Right. Oh,
So,
I had when I lived in Florida, my cousin, she ended up with a brain tumor one
oh
time,
no,
and and they went in to remove it, and the neurosurgeon that did the job was actually a friend of mine. Our kids used to swim together on the same swim team, so I knew him very well. He comped the surgery. He just flat out wrote it off. I was like, no way, you actually did that, Wes. I'm like, no, but and now
oh,
my cousin still has residual effects, but I can't believe she's not appreciative of what she did. She always complains that they told another surgeon told her they shouldn't have done it. No, I saw that tumor on the CAT scan. That when people do something nice like that, you should appreciate it, not complain about it.
yeah, wow.
Okay, let's see. Um,
It's just
Someone
crazy.
saying you should have filed a complaint for discrimination. That maybe they didn't. I think they didn't. get the whole thing about how they how you ended with that job. I don't know if they understood it.
Oh yeah, since
But,
the NDA agreement with the severance packages, like that was kind of like an
hmm
incentive. Okay, if you take the severance,
hmm
you can't disclose what actually happened, or
what
you
happened?
can't disclose the company. You can't sue us either. So that was also in there too. I can't
Right.
sue them for discrimination for any purposes. So I'm like, you know what?
hmm
Because I wasn't expecting to get a severance anyway. I'm like, I'll just take it. I'm not going to say how much it was, but
Right.
I mean, I'll just take it. It was a decent amount of money, but I mean, because they could have just did that with and not given me anything. Same thing. So
Right.
like, I'll just take the money and thanks for the year. I
Yeah.
was there about a year and a half actually, but I was doing good.
hmm
I got an increase in pay, and my merit was great at the year mark. And then I went out on leave for FMLA for 2 months for the gender surgery. Came back for a month. Then went on leave for 3 weeks. Came back, was fired 2 weeks later. I'm like, did you guys just plan that to just get rid of me after I got all my surgeries? Oh well, oh well, it's okay. But it's kind of weird because like it's a sad time for me, but I'm so happy because I'm done with my transition. Like I just cannot
Yeah. That's
tell you the happiness that I have right now. It's just so great. It's so amazing.
no, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, I mean, just once I started getting on the hormones and started feeling, all the effects of it. I mean, I started to feel so much more confident. Then you go out the first time in public and you go past. That's just like an awesome thing. I just found it a fantastic feeling. I mean, like I did it step by step. Like someone I watched, she said the first thing you should do is go out in your car, take a drive, and pass that way. Then you go out and you go out in public to the mall or whatever. Take it step by step, rather than try to go, all the way. It just right away the first time.
I didn't do that. I just went full time overnight. I changed my wardrobe out overnight, and just that's it. Started using
Oh, that's
makeup and all
cool.
that, doing the wigs, and God, looking back on it, I was horrible at makeup compared to what I know now. Full face of foundation, concealer, lipstick, blush,
Yeah.
darken my eyebrows, all this. No, no. Looking back on it, they said I looked like one of my coworkers, and I didn't get mad at him when he said this. My ID card on my job at the casino a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago, he said, "You look like the Joker." I'm like, you know what? You're right, and I'm not gonna go to HR and complain about it. You said that, but it's kind of funny because I don't do my makeup like that anymore. I just use like a little bit of eyeliner, mascara, eyeshadow, and then I darken my eyebrows just slightly. That's all I use. Sometimes I'll put a little tint of color on my cheekbones. That's it. I don't use lipstick, concealer, none of that. That clogs your pores up. You don't even need all that.
hmm
So
I
I
just
don't
do
use that
the
all.
foundation. I do the foundation. I'll do a little bit of eyeshadow, my eyeliner, and I like doing the winged eyeliner. And then I do a little bit of uh, highlighting, and that's it. Highlight powder, and that's it.
It may change once when you get your when you if you're going to do any face surgery in the future. You won't
Right.
need
That.
anything at
Yeah,
all.
I want to start bottom surgery, then probably go facial feminization. Um,
That's good.
do any of you know trans women who choose not to transition, present as male, but identify as trans?
I don't know of anybody.
Actually, I
I
don't.
don't know of anybody, but I know
Yeah.
there's people like that. They're not going to do any
hmm
surgical or hormones or anything, but they feel that way inside.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody, but there are people that feel that way.
Not everyone transitions, and some people like this this conversation here. Some people may never transition, maybe for personal reasons, or
hmm
it might actually be financial reasons. I'd still be in the same scenario if it wasn't for my mom's help. I'd still be just on HRT. I would have had the orchiectomy done, which is one step closer, but I still wouldn't have passed. And yeah, yeah, it's just very expensive to do these surgeries and stuff, and it's like you better be sure that you want to do this if you're going to do it, because it's really expensive, and if you have regrets later, like you just spent all this money and now you're miserable. So you got to make sure
Right.
that it's
Yeah.
something that you want or
Yeah,
need.
that's a big thing. Yeah, 'cause they always say at least a year. Like with my, I know uh, Blue Cross Blue Shield, FEP, they say you have to be make sure you've been, on hormones for a year. And before you used to say like 2 years passing, like, uh, but now they say the 1 year on hormones and then just get your clearance letters.
You have to have one life of lived experience as the opposite full time. So you have to be out
Mhm.
of work too.
Right.
Depends on the insurance. You might
Okay.
be able to get away with that, but you have to have one life, one full year of lived experience. I'm like, well, I've had that 6 years of that. Lived experience of being like laughed at and like, just different shit like that. Pardon my English. But yeah, people the looks people give you. Yeah, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about or not, but I've had a lot of weird looks, like when I would go into the men's room and stuff like that, just the looks that some of these guys would give me. I'm like, man, you're not a chaser, are you? Because the chaser give me that look. They'll
Let's
give me
see.
a
So
different kind of look.
Manoj,
Yeah.
Manoj says that in Israel it's fully covered, thankfully. And then Yuki says, go to the Philippines, it's cheap.
Yeah. See, the only
I have friends.
I can comment on that.
What's that?
I can comment on that, Jules. Um,
Go ahead.
it's okay. So it's cheaper, like Mexico, Philippines, Thailand. It's cheaper to get these
Hmm.
surgeries and all the stuff and work done. Like you can get it done in India
Hmm.
cheaper too. But okay, so the thing
Colombia.
is you stay there for a month, you recover, and then you go back home. If you have any complications, you have to go back to the surgeon that did the work. No surgeon in the U.S. is going to
Hmm.
honor work that was done out of the country. So that was my peace of mind when I did it. It was super expensive where I went. It was in San Francisco. My face surgery
Hmm.
was $98,000, 52,000 out of pocket, and my face surgery was 81,000 out of pocket, $81,000.
Oh wow.
But if I didn't have any issues or any complications, but if I did, it's a 4-hour drive to get help.
Correct.
So
Hmm.
also, if there was a complication, it's going to cost more out of pocket because you have to book a surgery room to fix the problem. There's no warranties on surgery. There's no warranty on the surgery. So you still have to
Hmm.
book a room and all that. So if you do it out of the country, you got to do another flight and all that. And it's just not worth it, in my opinion. For peace of mind, it's safer and better just to stay in the U.S., get the surgeries done here. You're close to home, and it'll work out. I could have probably got
Okay.
all that
So,
done for $6,000 in India, all the work.
oh, I believe it. I when I used to be an ER nurse in Florida, we had someone come in one day and she had had a BBL done in Colombia
Oh, boy.
and had a massive infection going on, cellulitic, everything. I remember they even, oh, can you look at this? Oh, I'm like, oh, we had to take her because once they're on ER property, you have to take them. It's a rule called EMTALA. So you take them in and they had to stabilize her how they could. And then I don't know if they, and what they did in the end, if they, surgeon took her there or what. Yeah, but yeah, if you go out of country, can be um, can be crazy, you
Yeah.
know,
Stay away from those
because
BBLs too. Those are. I
mhm.
would never get that. Nope.
My friend that's gonna move in right here, she's gonna get one in Florida. She said,
Dr. William Miami in Florida, best
I think
doctor
she
out
said
there.
Miami.
Dr. Miami, William Miami. He's the best BBL surgeon out there, as far as I know. He's got a YouTube channel, tons of followers too. Dr. William Miami. Um, I say the BBL. I stay away from it because I already have a nice butt. I don't need a BBL. So and it got from the hormones. It got bigger. So that's great, perfect. I got stretch marks too because it, over the last 2 years it grew quite a bit actually.
Right.
So I mean, you can't control the stretch marks. The growth was exceeding the skin elasticity rating or whatever. So, but other than a little bit of stretch marks, I'm very happy with the results that the hormones have given me in this area, hips and butt and all that. It's great.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
the guys like it.
Let's see. I'm trying to see
The
some.
guys love it. That's one of my best
Mm.
assets is that. Yeah, and then my girls, my girls here, are my second best asset. But that's just physical stuff.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. My girls are the ones that are growing in pretty good. I don't know, and that has to do with genetics. I know you have. They always say, look at the girls in your family.
Yeah, my mom's got like a
You
D
know.
cup, so. But my
Let's
genetics are more
see.
like my dad. Well, I don't look like my
Hmm.
dad now, but I was kind of almost a mirror image of my dad physically, like what his face and all that stuff. I would
Yeah,
look more like him than my mom.
I had my dad. I had my dad's hairline. Definitely. Let's see. I'm trying to see up the comments in here. Um,
Thankfully, my
Grace,
dad was
she
in
says FFS isn't covered in my province. This healthcare system, GA is, but I am that currently lined up to be challenged by the UCP via the notwithstanding clause. Okay. Um,
here in the U.S. Face surgery is not covered by most insurance. They don't cover it. It's considered cosmetic,
actually,
so and not necessary. Which for someone like me, it is necessary to freaking pass.
actually, I one time looked up what the federal employee program covers with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the plan I have just about covered everything. They'll cover Botox, they'll cover hair, facial hair removal, all your, or then they'll cover what else? The FFS, gender reassignment surgery. It was a long list. I was surprised,
That's awesome.
especially since it's federal. Yeah,
Yeah, you just got to be
and
able to pay your bills
yeah,
when you're off in that time.
yeah, you got to save the money for that.
Yeah, that's hard. It's hard to save money because you have maybe a car payment, your rent's high, your credit card debt maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did have one debt that I'm gonna be finished paying off next month, but when I moved here, there's a big deal with my car, but I purchased another car, and I paid it out cash. So that's how the Xterra came around, flat out cash, and it's a project also in itself, but it's fun.
Yep. I've seen your
Um,
content on your Sexterra.
hmm Nice
Your
Xterra.
Sexterra. Yeah.
I got I got to come up with a good name for it.
All right.
I've always given my cars nicknames, but
I bought mine. It was a year-old lease return, and I bought it it's a 2015 Camaro. I bought it in 2015 for
hmm
16 grand. Haven't had a car payment in probably over 20 years now. Because the car before that,
Oh
I bought
wow.
cash. It was a truck, an S10.
Hmm.
Had that in Alaska for a while. But yeah, I've had this car for like 11 years. So it doesn't have any issues.
Yeah,
84K in miles on it.
yeah.
It's low.
Mine's got 260,000, but I think right now it's just going to be getting that catalytic converter cleaned, and I bought the chemical for it. So you have to put it in at a quarter tank and drive it like 10 miles. They say it should pretty much take off any catalytic converter codes. I've got my little handy dandy computer to diagnose my cars.
Nice.
So that
Yeah.
way I can check all my emissions codes.
my stability track fails, so I just turn off the I turn off the traction control when I start my car up, and so it won't fail on me while I'm driving. It's so bad when it malfunctions while I'm driving, and it's usually like when I'm at a stop, it'll happen. I'm like, oh god. So I disable that when I get in my car every time because it's not.
Yeah, I've got the very differential control that's light on also in the slip light. I just got to figure out how to fix those. Um,
So you work on cars then?
oh, I love working on cars. High school, I had my first truck was a Nissan hardbody. That from that, it started off lifting it, getting bigger tires, and I was in car clubs, so it was fun. It's just one of those hobbies that just sticks with you. And so this one I'm trying to do all on my own because before it was like, oh, get the cash, go to the shop, and have them lift it. This one I want to do myself. There's a special lift that I actually want to do for it because you can take the parts off a Nissan Titan are compatible with the Xterra. So because they're built with the same parts. So I want to take the lower control arms from the Titan, get a special upper control arm, and it'll give it a lift. So it'll be nice. That's what I want to do.
Nice. I know about cars and how things work, and I can diagnose things. I don't really have a place to work on stuff because I've been renting apartments and stuff recently. But I don't really have issues with my cars because they're usually a newer car that I don't drive that much. I've done a lot of commuting when I lived in California. I used to have a really long commute. I'd have like at one point 71 miles one way to work, so there and back. So that's miles on a car when you drive that much every day. So that kind of thing, yeah. I put a lot of miles on the car. I had a Toyota Corolla for years. Never did anything to that. The only issue that car had was the headlights would go out occasionally because of a grounding issue with the radiator. Where the grounding wire is for the radiator, that for that Toyota Corolla model, that would be an issue. That's the only problem the car had. The headlights would burn out every 6 months.
The big thing with the Xteras, and I'm glad I got a manual transmission because the automatics get what's called the pink froth of death. And like we would open the radiator and it's frothy pink. If someone has congestive heart failure, what happens is they had the radiator and where the coolant is for your air conditioning, and it would break and go into the radiator and kill the engine. So I guess there was a recall on it and there's the fix for it, but not on the manual transmissions, which I have.
All right. Wow.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. My dilly dally stuff is mostly computers, building computers and upgrading and stuff. And I recently just did
That's what I want to try to do.
These two that I have right now are built from this year.
I tried doing this one. I want to do. I was going to do I like Chrome computers. I like my Chromebook, so I wanted to get a Chromebox and do a nice big computer here, like dual screens and all that. But something was wrong. I bought this on eBay for I think about $30, but it wouldn't turn on when I got it. So I'm just gonna buy a 5th generation one, brand new, and work with that.
Chromebox, so. Yeah. There's some mini computers that are cheap too. I have a VXX model, I think it is. It's only like an i5. It's not really fast, but I mean, it would do like presentations and streaming and stuff. It would do that kind of stuff. It wouldn't be good for games or anything like that. But if you want to stream in 4K or watch, content or stuff like that, it'd be a decent computer. I actually have one of those. I bought it as a test to see what the inside was like. Like how quality the components are and stuff. And I don't think it's all new components. Honestly, I think the CPU is a pull from something else, and they just made it work, and they were calling it new. So, but pretty decent machine. Windows 11. It runs Windows 11. So, but that's not the ones I'm
I got
using
another
here.
one.
That's in the closet.
Got another one of my subs in here. Deja. Hi, Deja. How are you? We did an interview together also.
I know. I saw that one. Is that the one with the
Mm-hmm.
colors on the face?
And
That one? Bruce.
yes,
Oh yeah.
likes
Okay.
doing abstract. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In fact, Deja, actually, I have someone that is looking um, for an artist for artwork. Um, so you may have to contact them. So yeah, my friend that interviewed me, he wants artwork for what he's going to do. He wants to buy old church buildings and make cooling centers, or no, he wants to make warming centers in Utah for people that are homeless. And but he's going to call them libraries so people can come in and read books and but stay overnight reading books.
That's cool. That's a good cause.
But he wants. Mm-hmm. He's the same one that asked me about the chrysalis ritual. So but he's looking for people that may want to do artwork. So that's why I tell Deja, she does the abstract. She had in that same live showed me lots of different artwork, beautiful artwork. Well, ooh, you donate? I bet you he'd help you out money wise too, Deja. Uh, okay, what? Wow, we're in our third hour. Believe that?
Wow.
Yeah, that went by quick. I think we've got like I'd say let's go to the top of the hour. It's 9:52 here, so let's go to the top of the hour. See if anybody else has any questions or anything, uh, and then we'll go ahead and sign off.
Sounds like a plan.
I need to eat. So everybody, any questions for my friend Avita here?
If anybody's in the Reno
Oh,
Sparks
you're in
area,
a nice.
very single. I'm very single.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm in the Four Corners area. So, let's
Yeah.
see.
There's guys, but
Who
they
got
just
you the nice cabin? Oh, Deja says she's in a nice cabin until New Year's. Um, so Rayuki does ask, what work do you do now? But right now you're not working, correct?
I'm not working right now. My mom's paying my bills right now, actually. I want that to not be a thing ongoing, so I'm looking for work. So
Right.
I'm gonna have to relocate, unfortunately, and that's just gonna be sad for my mom. But I mean, this area has been like this even since I first came out to Reno Sparks. There's just not a lot of jobs. Like when there is an IT job posted, it's so saturated. So many people know the environment. It's just really hard. The competition's really, there's people with degrees and like 10 years experience and all this stuff. I mean, I have like almost 30 years experience, but I don't have a degree. So,
Right.
so I have a security
and that's just a piece of paper.
and 30 years experience. But that's not enough. Some people want you to have certifications and a bachelor's. to even qualify. So I don't even bother with those.
Right. Okay. So Claudia says, wishing you the best. Yeah, degrees a lot of times are just a piece of paper, you know? I
All it
mean,
says is
I
you are able to stick with something and follow through. That's what a degree tells
mhm,
an employer.
exactly.
Does it mean you're the best candidate for the role? No. Just because you have a degree doesn't.
Exactly. Because
Mhm,
experience says a lot.
it does. But
What type of IT? So, right,
cybersecurity,
he's asking what type of IT?
cybersecurity,
Oh, okay.
SSO, surveillance, uh, general IT support too, like user account creation, Azure,
Mm-hmm.
Office 365, PC break fix, network issues, software issues, printing, anything computer related, I can do. So I can do phone support. In-person support is probably my favorite because you get to interact with people in person. I like that environment better, but I can do help desk too, type of work. But they usually outsource that because you can get 3 people in India for the price of 1 person in the US.
Right. Oh, that
So
makes
they
sense.
don't even, yeah, and they know their stuff too. So they
Mm-hmm.
can they sometimes read scripts or whatever, and they can find the information. Google is everywhere. You can just Google it nowadays if it's not
Mm-hmm.
proprietary. So, but back in my early days in IT, you couldn't Google it. You had to know it or figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But there was TechNet in the early days of Microsoft. I worked at a tech shop, and we used to get our monthly update. It was on floppy disks before CDs were a thing. CDs were a thing.
Oh,
Get our updates, and it was
and
HTML.
just let me tell you something. My first computer I had was a Texas Instruments TI-9094A. And even before floppies, you would connect cables to your computer. After you put in your program, you would record it on a tape recorder.
Yep, I know about that.
Mm-hmm. I had that. Deja is stating she did IT in the Air Force. I used to pull ticket tapes for data. Ha ha ha. Or ticker tapes. No, the ones that were here.
Yeah, I kind of
Funny
wish I took
stuff.
a different path rather than IT, but it's whatever. I can't go back now.
Mm-hmm.
I've already been doing it too long to
Oh,
not
I
go
know.
else. I was going to go into the army right out of
Right.
high school, but my life would have been different if I actually went through with that. So I got an offer for
I
70K right out of
consider,
high school, so I just took it.
yeah, I considered the Navy and the Coast Guard because I lived in San Diego and I knew the waters. I was a swimmer and I was an ocean lifeguard for a while. So, and Deja was in the Coast Guard
Did you take the
also.
exam and did you do the written and physical and stuff? Were you ready to like enlist or what?
No, I considered it for a little bit, but then I didn't enlist or anything. Didn't take the test.
I was ready to
Um,
sign and
it,
then I backed out because you have a certain amount of time
oh
where you can
wow.
back out. I signed. I was going to the army. I passed the written and physical and all that stuff.
Hmm.
I was going. I already knew where my boot camp was going to be and all that stuff. And then I got this offer. I'm like,
Hmm.
dang it! I still you had a certain amount of time to withdraw your application for your enlistment, and I
Hmm.
backed out. So I don't know how my life would be different because I would have been in the Saudi Arabia stuff,
Hmm.
the Iraq, Kuwait stuff in the 90s.
Yeah.
I would have been in that
De- Desert Storm.
Desert Storm. Yep, that's where I would have been.
It, yeah. And what from what I see with all the vets starting then, and I have Deja in here. She's a vet, but that's when like a lot of the there's a lot of medical issues from then. There's a lot of PTSD started really coming around from then. Deja states I almost did not make it in, and I also almost did not answer the question asked me. They asked me correctly. So Deja almost didn't get into the military. Deja asks, "Are you heterosexual?"
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
that's
a
what Deja
straight
said.
I'm a straight female. I'm only attracted to men. I only date men. Some people
I
are
had
going
to
to try to
lie to
debunk that.
myself.
Because some people are going to they're going to
Hmm.
debate that. They're like, well, how can you be a straight female if you were born male?
Right.
They're gonna say
I
that crap,
get
but I'm
that.
like, I'm a girl. I'm emotionally and sexually attracted to men only. I don't consider myself gay,
Right.
bi, or any of that. I'm so hormones. Like my whole makeup in my head has changed. So
Right. Okay. So let's see if
it's easier to
a
date. I'm not
couple
gonna
more
lie.
minutes.
It's easier to date.
What's that?
It's easy to get laid. I'll
Yeah.
say that. Let's just be honest. But it's I don't have to chase. Like if I go on a little stupid app or if I go to one of the casino bars, they talk. Guys talk to me. I don't have to reach out. They talk to me. If they're interested, they'll come talk to me. So,
Right.
but yeah, I don't have to chase. So when I was a guy, I had to chase, but I don't have to chase anymore, which is that's kind of nice. Not gonna lie, but
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like how we talked about the whole clothing thing. Wear both types of clothing, but yeah, as a woman, you would get chased, not have to chase, which is probably the worst part of it too.
it doesn't mean it's going to be quality guys that are looking for the same thing you want. So
Hmm.
most guys just want to smash one time
Yeah.
and you never see them again, and I'm not interested in that. So it is what it is. I'm a different person now. I have to have an emotional
Hmm.
connection with a guy to have intimacy because I don't have a sex drive. I don't have a sex drive at all.
Right.
And I tell guys that right up front. I have zero sex drive, but you'll get all you want. If you check the other
Hmm.
boxes for the shit that I need, the things that I need and want, you'll get what you need. If it's a give and take. You get what you want, I get what I want,
Right.
and it has nothing to do with your wallet. I don't care about your money. I had a guy that on the Teamy app. He's like, hey, let's make Christmas magical or some crap like that, or I don't know what his line was he used on me, but I'm like thinking he just wants to smash. I'm like, I'm not looking for that. It says it in my profile. I'm looking for a connection, a companionship. I'm not looking for sex or
Right.
money. So, and yeah, if we end up fooling around, cool, but I'm not looking for that. So,
Okay. Let's see. I think we're done with questions.
all right.
And where are we? We're 10:03. I think. Well, I do want to say, Avita, Avita. I'm sorry. I keep tripping myself up.
You got it.
Um, this has been this has been fantastic. We've got to keep in touch. You
For sure.
know, uh, I had a pleasure. It was a pleasure having you here. I know some people have talked about doing like a live stream where many of us could be on here, maybe three or four of us. I think that would be a great thing to do. Um, you know, I've had Ryuki on here before, and obviously Deja. Uh, oh, they're asking for another hour. Oh, Claudia just said I'm kidding. Um, I mean, I could probably go for a long time. I'm a talker. Uh,
It's not a bad thing. I
but
talk as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a big. I talk a lot. I think I get it from my sister's the same way. My sister is the one that can't stop talking ever. Uh, she, but that's good because of her job. She's a concierge for some big time chef, at some very good restaurants in San Diego. So she uses like my name, my dad's name. My dad's passed away, and then uses my mom's name to make reservations on tables for celebrities, so nobody knows who's coming to the restaurant. Let's see. Okay, so people are starting to kind of. Grace is on her way out. So yeah, I guess what we'll do is wrap it up right here. I've had a fantastic time, girl. I really enjoyed your company, and your story was great. I know there's ups and downs, but it's a good way to, all of us to help each other out and learn from each other.
Right.
Um, you know, um, I've really enjoyed you here. Like I said, we got to keep in touch and, maybe do another one. And, you know, any last comments from you?
No, it's been good, great conversation, good questions, and
Hmm.
stuff. It's been good. Yeah, I look forward to doing more as well.
Cool.
So looking, putting my feelers out because people don't reach out to small little tiny YouTube channels to interview them. You got to go to the bigger ones to get the interviews. So I'm looking, putting my
Oh,
feelers
yeah,
out.
most
Yeah. So
definitely. I will, um, definitely, if I get anybody that, wants interviews, I will send them your way too.
sounds good. Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
It's been good. Yeah, we'll be
Okay.
watching your streams when you stream as well.
Okay. I will see you around in there. I will probably be back tomorrow night streaming at my usual 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I think I was supposed to have someone else in here, but haven't gotten a hold of them. So if not, we'll just do our regular live stream then.
Nice. Is this one
Uh,
getting posted on your channel, Jules?
yeah,
The live streams you have
it'll
today?
be
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Good.
So it, and so that should be. Oh, someone just must have jumped in as a troll because they got deleted right away. Grace caught it. She's awesome.
Yep. Gotta love trolls.
So, yeah. So you have a good night. I really enjoyed it. Everybody be safe. Have a good weekend. We'll see you tomorrow night.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.